Good morning and welcome to Politics on the Rocks, episode 20. That was Don't Let Me Down by arguably one of the worst bands on planet Earth, the Beatles. I'm your host, Nick, and to my right we have Chris.
Good evening.
Across the table, Bookie.
Good day, mate.
And directly in front of me, beautiful Cameron.
Hello, hello. Our special guest this evening is Uncle Nearest 1884 small batch whiskey. So I guess this is a Tennessee whiskey. And its claim is that it's the smoothest whiskey in Tennessee. And I'm not going to lie, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it
is
really
a good one.
It's very smooth. Yeah.
But is it the smoothest?
Yeah, that's debatable, I think.
Bold statement.
I feel like we haven't had too many Tennessee whiskeys. We've been drinking a lot of bourbons.
This is our second one.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. But it is good.
What was the other one?
George Dickel.
The one we just did, yeah, George Dick.
Oh, the Dicks?
Dicks.
Yeah, George
That's
Dickel.
right, we went from cock to dick to now.
That's right.
Uncle
Yeah.
Nearest.
Yeah.
Uncle Nearest, which, I mean, depending on your upbringing.
If you have a creepy uncle. Nearest
Still
to his
dick
dick.
related.
Yeah. Well, today we're going to be revisiting... Well, not really revisiting. We're going to be updating some of the... There's some more local stuff for, our out-of-town listeners. The first half of the episode, we're going to be updating on... we sent a bunch of questions out to some of the city council people that are running, and we got some answers back. So we're going to do a little update on that. And then, we're going to do a little spitball, and we're going to talk about some local stuff. Or not local stuff, national stuff. Today is Monday the 11th, so it is... Columbus Day, also Indigenous People Day, also Coming Out Day, also National Transition Day, also... No, I'm just kidding.
Also,
I'm only
National
kidding.
Southwest Airlines Protest Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Secretly.
It's a lot going on in this one day.
Yeah.
You
Just
know?
shoving a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't.
So, with that being said, I guess we'll just dive right in, yeah? Let me pull up the notes here.
Deep dive.
Get the news.
Everyone's got the notes on their phones, right?
Get the news.
Yes.
Podnuts 20.
Oh, man. So how do you guys want to start this?
I guess we could just go through and...
I don't really want to necessarily want to, read it verbatim. I mean, it's the writings of a madman.
Yeah, we just talk about some of the most...
Yeah. So, I guess, really, what do you guys take from this? And I guess when we're talking about this, what I'm talking about right now is we looked at a couple forums that happen around town for our local running candidates. So they had one at Walking Tree Brewery. Actually, last Monday when we were recording, they had it. Mm-hmm. We did not know. Didn't really publicize that much.
Yeah, that's probably something we should have went to.
Yeah.
Granted, we didn't know about it.
Yeah, we didn't know about it.
They didn't really publicize it.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, we would have never passed up an opportunity to go just, drink some beers and sit around.
And boo people. I mean, we would not boo them, but... And then there was also...
Speak for yourself.
A kind of forum. TC Palm interviewed all the candidates that were running in groups, so they had a couple of video series on that. So we kind of watched them, wrote some notes, and I guess we'll go over that real fast. Just kind of what we took, what stood out.
Well, it seems like Heady's our guy.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Yeah, he's been good on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and he doesn't shy away from the answer that he wants to give, ever.
Which is cool.
You can tell he's never, beating around the bush. He's never, bullshitting you. He just says exactly what he's thinking. And if you don't like it, that's fine, but,
That's what he is.
Pretty refreshing to see it for someone to, in politics, to just say what they're thinking and be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most I can relate with Heady, too, not the beard, obviously, but his, I would assume where principles lie. I feel like he's pretty principled, which is super important for me.
Yeah, all his answers, you know what he's going to say, but in a good way. It's not like the other ones where you know what they're going to say. It's going to be some fucking
political bullshit answer.
It's going to be some typical politician beat around the bush answer.
Yeah, of his...
With him, you know it's going to be like...
Yeah, and they're all very, like you said, they're all very consistent with his principles. So, just kind of, I guess, reiterating what you guys are saying. You know what his answer is going to be based on his answers to his other questions.
Yeah.
Based on his principles, which is nice.
It's based on what you think you know about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like okay, so this person is this kind of person, so they're going to answer this kind of way, and it's like it's true, you know?
Yeah.
Because
So what you're
they're
saying,
principled.
he's the kind of guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Heady is the kind of guy
Yeah.
that will sue the city of Vero Beach because they didn't let him talk.
And then run for office.
And then win.
Yeah.
And then never to win again.
That's it.
Oh, that's amazing. The other takeaway I got as far as like just overall candidate opinions is that Ray Neville is a hard no.
for sure.
Why is that? He seems like a standing citizen that's lived in Vero Beach.
According to TC Palm, yes.
I mean, his old house is the Tides. That's got to mean something.
Yeah, I
fuck
guess.
the tides.
Yeah.
I know. I like the natural, like the tides, the waves. You know, I like
Yeah.
that, but I don't know what the fuck the tides is.
The
Well,
restaurant
it's a
they
good
said?
restaurant. It's a good restaurant, but
Yeah, it's
I don't
fancy
care if he
restaurant.
lives there or not. It doesn't do anything for me.
I take it back.
Yeah.
Tides
Yeah,
can
don't you
be
love that how
fun.
these politicians come out? They're like, "Look at me, I'm like you, I'm the guy." You know, I'm like your guy. It's like, okay, yeah, you lived rocks throw distance from the beach. You're not the guy. You're not my guy.
and you're not like me.
no, you're not like me, and you're not my guy.
I gotta drive to the beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can walk to the beach. It's a
Yeah.
difference.
And then
I don't see how that's important at all.
Yeah,
another takeaway I had it from just speaking general was Ken Dage. He pronounced his name.
Dage.
I can't remember. Sorry, Ken. I know you're listening to this.
Daggy.
But
Daggy.
yeah, he's almost I'm not gonna say a worse Neville when it comes to his stances on things, but he's a more upfront Neville. I feel like
He doesn't beat around the bush.
he doesn't beat around the bush.
Like he has bad ideas,
All right,
but
I
he
can
doesn't.
respect that.
Yeah, no, I
respect
respect him. I just don't agree with anything he says usually.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Was that the guy that was scared of COVID?
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
like the only forum he's been to out of the three that we've listened to,
oh, he's pulling the Biden.
yeah,
he's pulling a Biden.
he only
on
went
us.
to the video one, which is TC
Yeah,
Bomb.
he's gonna just hang out at home and blame everything on COVID while he's not coming up to
He's
anything.
gonna be like, my internet connection is cutting out. Like as soon as someone asks a fucking hard question.
yeah.
No, but he didn't even show up to the walking tree one, which is an open hangar.
Yeah. There's all sorts of air in there. They got the big ass fan going.
Yeah,
Literally, right?
Jeez.
Someone hasn't been taking their ivermectin.
sucks to suck. Another thing I came out with is depending what happens with this election, really looking forward to Taylor. See what happens with that.
Yeah.
He's pretty interesting. Obviously, not to shy away from his age. Obviously, he's a pretty young guy.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's pretty cool to see, right? Like, you see all those people on the stage, they're all, like, fucking retirement age, and then this one...
Yeah, I think it's
25-year-old
it's
kid is-
yeah, it's 25 Taylor,
Tracy's probably
50,
not. Yeah, okay.
and then
Yeah.
it goes up to like 69, 75.
Right.
So, but
Tracy actually was surprisingly pretty good. Well, I don't know why I say surprisingly. I just kind of had like a preconceived bias because her husband was already mayor, and I just figured people in politics suck. I
yeah,
guess. So, but
she's
her
a-
answers were decent.
Yeah.
yeah. There's a couple things she shied away from, like when it came to raising taxes, and she definitely had.
Yeah,
Political
I see
jargon.
here in our questions when she got back, she had nothing specific in regards to cut budget and with the taxes.
But
Yeah.
But
Which
yeah.
I liked Heady's answers. He said stop the lawsuits and minimize code violations, liens against property, like frivolous governing. I like that answer. That's
Yeah, I like that
Obviously
he
cool.
had specifics when people
Right.
asked, what do you want to cut? Because so many people just bullshit saying they want to cut the budget and,
they never say
and
what
they never
that
have
actually
any
means.
specifics. Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone else had a...
but I like that his specifics are like directly related to like minimizing government.
Yeah, someone else had a good point. I can't remember who it was about how 85% of the
Oh, yeah.
budget is
I think that was
like,
John.
personnel.
John Kutugano.
Katugno.
Yeah.
Tugno?
I just
Yeah.
where the right here. John, would you increase taxes if necessary? John said that's a difficult question to answer, but currently no. I believe tightening up the budget is necessary. 83% of the budget is personnel or personnel cost. Wants to talk to county on how to lower burden of city by county taking more responsibility.
Yeah, so that was kind of him, like giving more things to the county to run instead of the
Okay.
city, so citizens pay for
Right,
it.
right. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's... From our perspective, we always prefer things to be in the smallest,
Right.
Yeah.
Least
Usually.
centralized as possible.
but also I guess wherever it's most efficient is probably where it's better suited, which obviously is in the free market. But you know,
Correcto mundo.
between the city and the county, I guess we could figure out which one would be better suited.
yeah.
Yeah. There were two really good questions from the Walking Tree forum.
Let's go back up.
Because again, a couple questions I think they already had pre-written down from whoever is running it, and then they took questions from the crowd, which didn't look like there's that many people, but I could be wrong based on the single screen I saw. But so the crowd wrote down questions and they kind of took them in and picked the best ones. And I think one of them was the moratorium on medical marijuana within city limits. And if whoever's looking at the notes, I forget the first one was.
Yeah, I'll just read their vision for the industrial area around the airport.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just, I mean,
No.
these are kind of short. I could just read them real quick.
I mean, yeah, you can do that. It's just, I mean, I didn't write it very concisely, I don't think.
Most of the people just talked about partnering up with businesses to create more places like Walking Tree and lease more of the city land. And Heady did say to just sell places so businesses can open, which again we're pretty in favor of that. And then 4 against the moratorium on medical weed in towns, all of them. But Charlie answered this question. All of them had similar answers except Heady. They were all pretty ways to skirt around the question. John said he wasn't sure, but then got booed and seemed forced to say...
that was pretty funny in the video. Like, he literally was like, oh, I don't know. And then you literally had people like, boo. And you could see him like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Jinance called herself a rule follower and follow the current mandate, but was open-minded. Neville said weed was in the future, but he liked the slow rollout to manage it. What does that even mean?
I would assume based on his age, like, so kids don't die in gutters. I don't know.
Because that's what
Yeah.
what weed does.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
And then
I don't know.
Heady just went ballistic on taking all laws on weed away.
Yeah, dude,
Again, it's our boy.
Yeah.
Politics on. Is it fair to say that we officially endorse?
I don't want to endorse
His name's
anybody, but
Brian,
I
right?
like him.
Brian Heady. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't make sense for an libertarian page to endorse people.
Yeah. But
But you like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. And
He's easily the best.
watching
Has the best answers.
between the two inside or
We're really just trying to take advantage of him. He wants to meet up at a cigar bar, so we're all just really trying to plow his cheeks.
but no, he
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "Wow, I'm not going there."
but listening to the two in-person forums, which is the last episode, was the Taxpayer Association, and this one being the Walking
He
Tree.
follows us on Instagram too, so he's probably. I can't say for certain if he listens to this, but
But the Walking Tree forum one, like all the people there, like speaking, like the candidates, they were super, like a lot more relaxed. It was a lot more enjoyable to actually watch.
Nice.
So they weren't just watching people chew on overcooked steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
like
was-
the dinner.
Yeah, so that was a lot more interesting. And just anybody, just to like touch on it real fast, within Vero Beach city limits, and I would assume it somehow branches to county, because if it's just city, then you can just go to county areas and open a medical weed shop, but I don't see any. But particularly to the city council and the city limits, there's only one medical marijuana shop allowed. And that's because they mandated that. They put a moratorium on how many you can limit.
So they mandated a monopoly?
Exactly. And that's what people were talking about. They're like, why do I have to go to Fort Pierce where there's like 20 of these places and there's only one in Vero that, like you said, a monopoly can raise the
I'm pretty
prices.
sure there's 2 in Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sebastian left for 2. Allowed for 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's a duopoly. Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't
So
know.
dumb.
Yeah. That's its own issue.
Meanwhile, you can go anywhere and like gamble in these stupid little arcades. It's like
Have you seen that office like in Sebastian, like right across from the dispensary? I think it's like a doctor's office, and it's like this little shack, and it just says medical marijuana cards, like in big letters on the fucking building.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
So they walk in, they're like, "Hey, you need a card," and then he walks next door and he's like, "Oh, I can get a card."
Yeah, you don't even have to drive. It's right across the road.
Not to go on too much of a tangent, but back when in River County had that shitty mask mandate for 5-year-olds, one of the people they were calling out in one of their last board meeting talking about the mask mandates, who was giving away medical exemptions, was a chiropractor in Sebastian. So that's pretty cool. Sebastian leading the freedom.
I mean, those
over
are
there.
the people that need it, right? The people going to the chiropractor.
Exactly. And then the other...
I've smoked pot with a lot of really old dudes in Sebastian. That sounds weird, old dudes. It's old people in general.
No, that's all it's Sebastian.
The Sebastian guys love their pot, man.
But and then what was the industrial area? So in Vero Beach, near the Vero Beach airport and where Piper is, there's a lot of old buildings, which is what they're calling the industrial area, which is where the walking tree is. So some people had questions about, what's your plan to make this look nice, or bring more business
I do
here.
gotta say, it does look like shit driving through aviation.
Yeah, I mean, it's still old, and it's still like walking tree took forever to get there, and that's like probably the newest building there.
Yeah, and it's not even a new building.
Exactly.
Which is crazy.
So, and like a lot of those answers, what people were stating were like, oh, it's lease more city land and work with companies. That shit takes fucking forever, man. Like, what business wants to sit there and pay planners and pay to get all this shit done? Especially if the city's like, you have to keep this building historical or look like X amount percent like it does right now, because then it looks cool. Then they spend all this money to make that building work when it's probably cheaper just to tear it down.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not, and we want this building like this, that still should just be their choice.
Yeah, retrofitting is a fucking nightmare in some of those buildings.
I'm sure.
It's like
Especially
ridiculous.
those old wooden truss ones.
Oh, I
those
can't
wooden truss
imagine.
industrial
And
buildings.
you end up having to do shit that actually makes it look even worse. Like, you have
Yeah.
to put like these massive like steel,
Girders.
they're called like C channels, where it's basically like half of a beam that you like fucking bolt into the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, that looks really shitty. Like, you have to build something over it to make it look okay. But that's the whole point, is that it's like kind of, everything's kind of like stripped. Like, that's what makes it look cool. So, yeah. There's a lot of problems with that for sure.
Yeah, and the fact that was like 90% of the candidates' answers, and then he's the only one who's like, generally what it seemed he was saying was sell the land, which in my mind would be just let the companies do what they want,
Yeah,
which I think is the best way to do it
for sure.
for multiple reasons.
I guess I was gonna say the reason I was a little harsh on Ray Neville is because of this one part with the question about the home rule. So
That TC Palm was asking, yeah.
yeah, so the home rule basically is it's the idea that like the localities can make their own rules.
Yeah,
on,
we've
like,
talked about many times the things that DeSantis has done.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't realize that it was called the home rule.
I think that's like not even a jargon. I think that's like a slang for it, I would assume.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, he was, so they were talking about that, and they were talking about the, what was it? The, short-term renting.
Yeah, they just gave a couple examples what home rule gave examples of home rules that have been overturned and more centralized, or decentralized, I should say.
Okay.
So it was like short-term renting, and the I forget what the other one I wrote down there was. It's probably one of the earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the early ones. But anyways, so Tracy Zidane said that she, is for it, except when local governments start to use their power to take rights away, which I think we kind of talked about in a lot of our past episodes. So that was a decent answer on her part. But so Neville said that it's overreach in most cases, but he brings up that like a lot of houses have businesses in them, and he doesn't like that, and that like the zoning needs to be enforced. And then he says that he rats out on people who are doing VRBOs near him.
Dude, when he said that, I literally was like, I did a double take. Like, wait, like rewind. Like, what did he really just say that?
It's like
He's the old guy
like,
that
he
lives
just
across the
admitted
street,
to that, bro.
Right.
and calls on the cops when like your
And
grass gets
his
too high.
reasoning was that he's scared there's gonna be too many people in the house and that they'll like die or something.
Yeah, it was.
What?
It was literally like there's like, if too many kids come out here on vacation and they're all in one house, it's unsafe. Who knows what could happen? It's
Oh
like,
my
dude.
god.
Well, that's like one of the only ways that young people are able to afford to vacation
Yeah.
is to rent a fucking Airbnb and go like split it 10 ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not all of us are showing our vaginas and breasts on.
Yeah, not all of us live on the beach.
Oh,
Not all of us have OnlyFans.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but yeah.
Oh yeah,
Not all of us have OnlyFans.
I do, but
and can
Yeah.
write it off.
Me too.
But I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to say? Generally speaking, about we could probably once we get that out of the way, we'll bring up the few questionnaires that got filled out.
I think generally speaking, Ray Neville stinks.
Yeah, I hope Ray.
Yeah, I'm not really too keen on
I hope Ray Neville does not win.
Yes,
I
thought you were gonna say
think we
something
live
worse.
in.
I almost did.
I think we live in too conservative of an area for him to get any sort of.
But he's already in
Support.
office.
Yeah, so I mean, he's already got.
He's
it.
the incumbent.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
well, that's the thing. I feel like the type of person like him is actually he is like more similar to like the people in this county. Like
Well,
a lot of
especially the
older
people on the beach.
Yeah.
In the city. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think he definitely does speak to a lot of the
Oh, for sure.
the boomers and stuff.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I'm your
man.
guy.
I'm your guy.
Yeah.
The boomer guy. But I can't believe he like is so non-self-aware that he would like bring that up at Walking Tree. Oh no, that was in the TC Palm,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
The video.
And then TC Palm proceeded to endorse him.
Yeah.
Which I still think is weird that a media outlet is like endorsing a specific candidate. I don't know if that's normal or not.
I think that's weird too.
Yeah, they'll do I forget the
Yeah, to explicitly do it, I guess, is weird because most of them, I mean, do it, but they don't like explicitly say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They also, anything that's being voted on by the public on those elections, so like amendments or anything like that, they'll also go over that and give their yes or no vote on it too.
Okay.
So it again, it's interesting. Like you could say, like obviously I have nothing against it. I could still be, kind of makes me feel weird, but you could see that where people don't really look into these things and they have a TC Palm subscription. They just log on 2 hours before they go to the polls. Okay, what's TC Palm tell me to do?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure that
definitely can be influential.
Oh, for sure.
Swing votes one way or the other.
But I don't know. I hope Taylor does well.
Yeah.
Just cause,
Yeah, he probably won't win, but I hope he has a good,
Yeah.
good
I think
showing.
he's young. It was pretty shitty, in my opinion, that the TC Palm would say he was too naive to be a city council member.
Yeah, all these fucks are naive.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's like he's
Yeah.
literally on
they're all
ci-
status. How
Yeah.
fucking naive can you be?
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with everything Taylor probably wants to do or his principles. Maybe I do. I don't know. Hopefully we talk to him more. But, at least I feel like he comes from a place where he seems a little more honest and, like, true,
Yeah.
And
kind of like he keeps reiterating, I think he just wants to do what people want. Like, he just wants the area to be developed like the people want it. Like, he doesn't
Correct.
want it to be corrupted by, like, political influences or anything like that. Which is, a noble cause, but I think maybe that is naive.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sounds like a good answer, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, okay, so what if majority of the people don't want, for instance, a brewery down by the dog park on the river?
mm-hmm.
Then the business can't build it there.
Right. Yeah, no, that comes back to democracy and how fucking stupid it is,
Yeah.
right?
But no, I think it'd just be interesting to see him in there, because it would be different because, I think the way that TC Palm looked at it, he like literally in what they gave an example of, they asked him a question about the home rule, and his answer was like, "Hey, I don't know enough about this, so I don't want to give my opinion on it."
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think him and Heady did their interviews together, and Heady's like, "I really congratulate Taylor for saying that," because
Yeah.
everybody else here is going to say
Some bullshit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So TC Palm gave him shit for that, and it's like, yeah, that's actually pretty fucking
Mature.
great. That
It's a
somebody,
mature answer.
Yeah, that somebody would actually say, you know what, I don't know enough to comment on that. That's
Yeah.
like, that's something you never hear politicians
Well,
say.
yeah,
because
because
they're so
politicians
full
are
of themselves.
sociopaths. Yeah,
Yeah.
they think they know everything.
Yeah.
I bet you that guy, like at a like a mechanic shop, like the little stools they sit on with the wheels.
Yeah.
I bet you Neville just like rides that thing around TC Palm office, just sucking dick.
No, dude, he's got the one. Is it the one that with the knees?
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
what's
It's
that-
like a little.
Is that in a dentist's office? Maybe.
I'm not sure.
It's like a knee stool.
Yeah, it's a knee stool.
Or you know the one like they lay on to slide under the cars.
He would only do that if they were in massage tables face down with holes for their cocks.
That's what it is. He's just milking people
Yeah.
around TC Palm.
His
Holy
stool's
crap.
got like a massive black dildo taped to it.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got one of them bikes from South Park.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh no! I just see him like sliding
no,
around the
fucking-
office.
Just
Got like
getting,
5 different stools.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just I don't know. I think
Well,
it's
that's Ray's stool. Don't touch that one.
He's like, "How do you want me, Papa?"
it's just like one of those things. Like to call
He's like, "Just say nice things about me in your articles."
like a guy
He's like, "I'm that guy.
Taylor who's like honest.
My house was the
Versus-
guys. I'm that guy."
If you like wanted to actually scrub through like the rest of the people's answers, there's probably people in there who answered that didn't make any sense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
I'm pretty sure like Neville was asked a question about taxes, and I'm sure I think he went on like a tangent and answered very shortly. Like he doesn't.
But
have-
then they're gonna give Taylor shit for saying, I'm not really sure.
yeah, and
Oh,
just,
and Neville on the taxes thing, he said like, oh, if the stormwater tax doesn't go through, then we're gonna have to raise taxes.
yeah,
It's like, fuck you, dude. That's the whole like point.
Yeah.
Like, people are voting against taxes. Like, fuck off.
yeah, and it's just like, and all those other guys like John, and there's nothing wrong with this, but like John, Neville, Ken Doge,
Oh, yeah, let's go with that one.
they're all in committees in town, so they're all in these boards and committees that are like that talk to the council, that give council, which is I guess
Council
kind
to
of
council.
yeah, who watches the watchers, right? And they give these people props because like they're in with the know-how, but it's like, dude, I would bet my left nut those committees know fuck all about what they're committing about.
Yeah, exactly. The people who know, like, they're talking about, like, private businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the people who know about those industries is the entrepreneurs who fucking,
Exactly.
like, act every day in those industries, not the fucking government
Yeah.
people.
And the committees probably talk to those people to then talk to the council. Mm-hmm. So it's like being on a committee doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. You really
In
you
my
should
mind.
just have a bunch of entrepreneurs on that committee,
Yeah,
like,
or-
advising.
Or just have the council talk to those entrepreneurs. Right?
Yeah, directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut out the middleman.
Committees.
Committees.
Fucking committees, dude.
Yeah. You guys want to get into all those questionnaires we got back?
Yeah, we could. I was gonna ask that if we were gonna. Get
That's
into
not
that.
that's not in the notes, is it?
No, I
So
I emailed
first
them to
one,
me,
first one, Fred Jones.
You
He said,
emailed them to us?
to
yeah,
myself.
Yeah, Fred Jones said thanks,
Yeah.
and that was it. That was all he said.
I emailed them
That's the whole survey.
and I emailed them back. I'm like, hey Fred, just want to know let you know if you want to fill out this questionnaire and get back to us, you can. Either way, thanks, man.
That was like
Nothing.
That's Sebastian City Council, right?
He's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that he, took the time to email us back one word because there's half of them didn't even email back.
It was
so-
probably an automated response,
yeah, probably.
and it probably has a figure there. So like once it emails one email within a certain amount of time, it won't email them a second time. That's why I didn't get a second thanks back.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you.
But so just so everybody knows, we sent these questionnaires to everybody running for Sebastian Council because their emails are public via Sebastian City, which is super nice. So we can bomb the fuck out of their email addresses.
You know, would be good for a audio only podcast. Let's talk about how nice their political signs are, their roadside signs are.
Oh, I'm not in Sebastian. I have no idea what this
Yeah, I
sounds
was gonna
like.
say I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But so
I don't think I've noticed any.
but all the Sebastian
there's a
people
ton.
got emails, and then Vero Beach candidates, only 3 did not. I think it was. I'm trying to think here. I think Ken Dage was the one who I was not able to find an email address for.
That guy's just elusive, isn't he?
Charlie Wilson, I don't think I could find him. And then Neville. The only one I could find, which I guess I'm kind of a cuck for not doing it, was his like City of Vero Beach email.
Mhm.
I probably should have just emailed that. But I was like, it probably
Might
goes
as
to
well.
an intern that we pay like $40,000 a year for. But so those 3 people did not get it. And out of all
So
the
they
people,
can polish Ray's stool.
yeah, make sure it's nice and lubed for the next TC
Oh my
bomb.
god. Polish Ray's stool so he can polish off the TC palm.
Yeah. So out all of those, we only got 3 questionnaires back. So props,
Probably funny because I probably know this guy.
Probably.
I don't
So,
think I've looked up his face. Let's
props
see.
to the people who definitely fill out the questionnaire.
It's R-E-Y.
Oh my, bro. That's not him. It can't be, right?
That guy's got a massive
no,
brain.
that's not him. There's no way.
No, he looks like a typical Vero
It's
Beach.
R-E-Y. Not
Yeah,
R-A-Y.
right here.
Let's pull that up. Pull it up.
Jamie?
Okay, yeah, he just looks like a typical old Vero Beach guy.
Exactly.
His eyes look like curtains. Yeah, his eyebrows.
He looks like the guy at the gun store that tells you a really uncomfortable Vietnam story.
And then asked you to fuck his wife.
Before we get
Look,
started,
he's like, imagine this guy walking up to you. He's like, "Hey, me and my wife were looking at you across the bar."
Oh, God.
so just quick side note, since I brought up the gun store thing, I was at Paul's Guns one day, and this they have like a Doberman in there, and he's a super friendly, awesome dog, and this old guy in there, he looks at me, he goes, "We used to have dogs like them back in Nam." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome." And then he's like, "Yeah, we used to send them down the caves, and then you just hear screaming, but not for long." And I was just like, "Nice."
You're like, I'm not sure how to respond to that comment.
Oh man.
I was like, I could not believe it, but it was great.
And now that guy does hog hunts out of Vero Beach.
Yeah.
With dogs.
Yeah.
With his Dobermans.
Oh,
He's like, how the squealing brings me back to Nam. The pig squeals.
oh,
He's like,
man.
I almost can't contain my semen.
Flippity flop.
Anyways, where were we?
The first questionnaire we got back, which is the only questionnaire we got back from a candidate from Sebastian, was Jimmy Phipps.
Phipps.
Our boy.
Kind
I
of.
don't know if I was our boy.
Yeah.
I just said that.
But, so, again, Jimmy Phipps, thank you for filling out the questionnaire.
Oh yeah.
And
We'll make sure not to roast you.
too bad. And then,
I cannot make that promise.
if you want to know what Jimmy Phipps is all about, go back to episode, I think, 16 or 17. We talked about all the Sebastian Council members who are running. So, the questions we have, do you guys want to go through each question? Just, like, say what he said?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, all our questions are going to be the same, pretty much.
Except for the last one, right?
Yeah, so, I guess it doesn't matter, 'cause this is only only one person, Sebastian. So, question 1. What neighborhood do you live in? He said, Kohler Creek?
Collier.
Collier Creek?
Very wealthy area.
Okay. And the second part of that question is why. He says, we, capitalize, so I'm assuming his partner and him, chose a home across from a preserve where are our favorite places to spend time. Oh, geez, I should have said
Yo, what if he just straight out came out and said, he's like, there's not a lot of black people in this neighborhood.
Oh, shit. So, he lives in Collier Creek.
He's like, there's not a lot of minorities. It's kind of nice in back here.
The reason he lives there is he chose a home across from a preserve. Where are your favorite places to spend time in town? Anywhere in town, love it here, and have no complaints. Oh, nice, dude. Sebastian, I mean,
I guarantee you don't see him at Earl's.
yeah, I mean, you have some complaints. You live in Sebastian.
Yeah.
Second question. If you could change one thing in Sebastian's zoning code, what would it be and why? His answer, we require innovative alternative septic systems for all new home builds. It's
They've
interesting.
already done that, though.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't live in Sebastian.
Yeah, all the new homes, they have those, like, shallow... Yeah, whatever. I don't
Drain
know.
fields
That's a
or
weird...
whatever.
Septic. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
a weird... Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
It's one of those like
big on requirements,
Everybody's
you know?
acceptable. It's like an acceptable like, because everybody's like worried about the lagoon.
Yeah.
So it's like you say something about the septic tank, everybody's like, "Oh, I like that."
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that the septic tanks, like, it's not an issue, though. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely not a fan of the word require.
Yeah.
yeah.
Take that out, and I might like it more. But I do know the only septic thing I know is in Vero. They're trying to switch a lot of people from septic to sewer
Yeah,
Okay.
because the septic leaks into the lagoon, I guess.
yeah.
Which
Yeah, it's like leaching. And,
yeah. That's the only thing I know
It,
about.
it
septic
can make its
systems.
way through the ground into like
The
a
aquifers?
drainage area, like
Okay.
into like a storm ditch
Oh.
or something, and then from there it, makes its way to the
Yeah.
lagoon.
Well, if manatees learn how to eat shit, they'll still survive.
Yeah,
That's it.
Evolution.
grow the grass somehow. That seagrass.
Oh. The third question is, do you believe Sebastian has a housing shortage? His answer, no. Second part of that question is, if yes, what is one thing you believe the council can do to help? Or do you believe the council does not need to interfere? And his answer for that second part of the question was, council should steer clear.
Your wife just walked in.
Nice.
Both yours.
So, that's a pretty cool answer.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, Yeah,
I
good.
appreciate
I was like,
that.
Besides
yeah,
the fact
we-
that
I like that one.
there is an issue, right?
Well, he said no and then said if there was.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we like the second part, but there is an issue, right?
Oh yeah.
And Sebastian?
I think so. I mean,
I don't live there. That's just my answer.
But I feel
Like
like
a
we
housing
talked about that
shortage?
before. There is like a lack of housing. You know?
yeah.
I think during the boom, for sure, right?
What do you mean the boom?
Like
What does that mean?
the past year. I mean,
Well,
houses
yeah,
are selling
yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah, but I mean that still means there's a shortage. We only sent this out what?
Yeah,
2
I mean
weeks ago?
people pay what $1,400 to rent a house.
Shit, way higher than that in Sebastian.
Yeah, so
Dude, that's
yeah, it
reasonable,
seems like
dude.
there's a-
Jeez.
That's what you get for like a studio apartment in Sebastian.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
crazy.
shortage.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would agree though. I do think, but I do like his. So there's like a little continuity error with his requirement, and then council should steer clear.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just something to bring up, I guess. The last question for him is: what are your thoughts on the efforts to keep Sebastian's small town feel? His answer: the town is expanding faster than the infrastructure can support, but at the same time, small businesses are not coming to Sebastian. We need more businesses that cater to vacationers and tourists. So that was his answer to that part of the question. The next part of the question is: should the local government be actively working to prevent certain types of development in the town? His answer: keep high rises out of Sebastian.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like, like we've said before, just like government straight up outlawing something and saying you can't do that here. But in that case, I mean, it really just is like kind of just conducive to the Sebastian like feel. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of what everyone who lives there kind of wants to keep.
But it's
for
weird.
the most
I
part.
feel like it's a weird thing too because there's no real public, like there's very few like private land on the river
Mhm.
on either side of Sebastian, if you count beach side of Sebastian.
Oh yeah, that's what I was just going to comment on that. There's really no place to put a high rise in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
on at least on the river.
Yeah,
I don't know how they fit some of those houses on the riverside.
Dude,
in
there's
the town.
one just before Squid Lips. It's literally like
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Wait,
about?
wait. Is that new show on Netflix?
Squid Game?
Squid Lips?
No, but they just built a house. I'm like, no joke. It's probably like half the depth of like a normal lot and probably the same width.
Is
And
it
they
the one
somehow
that they're
managed to put a house
building
on
right
there.
now?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. They like
put up
just
the block?
finished the block work.
Yeah.
I remember driving by and I'm like, there's no way that's going to be a house. Sure enough, it's a house.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, that was Jimmy Phipps. Thank you, Jimmy. I really appreciate you filling out the questionnaire.
Yeah.
I think you honestly, since no one else finished any of the questionnaires, you probably answered it better than they would. So that's something to say.
Yeah, I don't think...
I don't think, what was it, Frank Jones?
Fred Jones.
Fred Jones could answer anywhere near this.
Yeah.
Because, these are pretty, I mean, all in all, if you're in Sebastian, look up Jimmy Phipps.
And Neville would have just been like, we need to just kill all the minorities and not
Yeah.
let any...
Neville would be like, back when I was born in the Tides building, there weren't any colored folk around town.
It's like, we need to be doing more to keep them in their neighborhoods. Keep those people in their neighborhoods.
His wife is like, honey, we're on camera. He's like, oh shit.
He's like, good, I want them to hear me.
Not to get off too crazy, but in the the TC Palm forum, everybody was like, obviously in front of like a webcam, and I'm almost positive during Ray's, his wife was in the background, like sitting, like just watching him.
Yeah, because he's the guy. He's like, hey, me and my wife noticed you over there.
That was just something that was kind of weird.
Like we're just.
And
gonna
I
make sure
was
he doesn't
wondering
say
if you'd
anything.
come and fuck my wife.
All right, so now to the Vero Beach people who answered our questionnaire. Again, there's 7 people running. We only sent them out to 4, so I guess we got 50% back, which isn't bad.
2.
Hey, dude, just play
Game of numbers.
Yeah, when you're playing game of numbers, use percentages when it's advantageous to you. So, the first gentleman we're going to go over is someone you may have heard of, Mr. Heady.
Yes.
Heady. Let's see here. Questions. So, a couple more questions here with the Vero Beach people. So, the first question is, what neighborhood do you live in? Why? And where are your favorite places to spend time in town? Heady, a very concise man. Oakmont Park, beach at sunrise, river at sunset.
Beautiful.
Simple man.
Nice.
God, I love this guy more and more every time.
Yeah.
Every
No
time
fluff.
he's-
No fluff. He's just like, this is what it is.
Uh,
You don't like it?
I got a little
yourself.
bit of money.
We have
I
a
live on the water.
we have a gentleman. I was about to say we have a gentleman here that may know where Oakmont Park is.
Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
going to say, I've never even heard of that place.
Me
Let's see.
neither.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And then if anybody's wondering why we asked that question, I didn't come up with it. I found it in another questionnaire. I think it's just kind of interesting to get an idea of where people live.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people are going to say they're part of the people and they live in Johns Island.
Right.
Like there's only a small percentage of the people that they actually speak for.
That's it. And half of them don't even leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I know,
again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you live there, just be honest.
yeah.
And then, if you want to ask people, where their favorite places and time to spend town in, just interesting to know if people are running what they like to do in town. Cause they
Okay, so you know where Regency Park is? Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, that's Oakmont Court.
Yeah, I was about to say that can't
Yeah.
be anywhere near Regency Park.
I mean, it's Oakmont. It can't be like right next door.
It's
Oakmont Park. I don't know. It just keeps
think
bringing
it's
me to
coming up.
Oakmont
All right.
Court.
Well-
He made it up. Okay, go ahead.
he's like, you think I'm gonna fucking tell you where I live?
Yeah.
You played me, Heady. Good job.
He just made up some fancy name.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of that, which is surprising.
Okay.
Because I'm a genius.
So,
Okay, so I oh no, never mind. Ignore me.
you're good. Second
We
question: if you could change one thing in Vero Beach's zoning code, what would it be and why? Heady, nothing. So, again, concise.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Vero coding. I don't
Yeah.
really know enough about coding in general, so
I mean, neither do I. But I would just say probably slash half of it, and would probably be better.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping his answer would be.
Yeah.
Like,
we could
eliminate the whole
do away
thing.
with 99% of it,
Yeah.
if not all of it.
But he's like, you know what? That would take some work.
We should zone
Now-
every residential unit as a residential/commerce unit, so then people can run their businesses out of their house, and Ray
There you
Neville
go.
can go fuck himself.
Yeah. And if anybody,
Yeah, there you go. That's a good answer.
and if anybody wonders why we don't like zoning codes, just ask us, and we can go into more detail about that.
Yeah, we could maybe do an episode on
Yeah.
that sometime.
Actually, that would be pretty interesting. Third question for Heady. Do you believe Vero Beach has housing shortage? If yes, what is one thing you believe the council can do to help? Or do you believe the council does not need to interfere? His question, no, there's not a shortage. Government should not interfere.
Okay.
That's good. I don't know. With Vero Beach, I do think there is a shortage.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, right?
But
because also we're getting an increase, like an artificial increase in demand because of the
Correct.
low interest rates and all that stuff.
True.
Right, yeah.
True.
So it's kind of like, it's tough to tell what is causing the high prices. Is it the artificial increase in demand, or is it the shortage?
Yeah. It's probably a little
Or
bit
a
of both.
combination of both.
Yeah.
Probably both, yeah.
But also I would say there is a shortage, but at the same time, living in a city, you're confined to the limit of the city. So at some point, you're going to hit a limit.
Yeah.
that you can't increase by anymore.
Right.
So-
you gotta start building up.
That's a good
high
point.
rises.
Yeah.
There's only so much
Okay,
space
all
in the
right.
city.
So Oakmont Park is behind the Publix on 21st, like
wow.
where Miracle Mile is, kind of.
Okay, yeah, I know
In
that.
town.
Is.
Deep Six and stuff.
So he's like right next to the Three Corners project.
Yeah,
where it
yeah,
would be
right, yeah.
Walking distance.
Yeah.
And I don't think this neighborhood really. I mean, it's like in a pretty decent location. It's not
It's an
far
old-
from the
it's an
river,
older
but
location.
yeah, I don't think it's like
not super
really anything
fancy or
crazy.
anything. Yeah.
No.
I'm like, all right,
Cool.
ask him to send us his house number.
I'll Instagram right now. DM him. The fourth question. If you had sole authority in how the Three Corners were handled, what would be your desired outcome? A developer who wants to spend their money, not taxpayers' money.
Nice.
Boom. We like that.
That's a beautiful
That
answer.
That is a beautiful answer.
Bam, boom, bop.
Mainly because if we looked into the standing O plan, or even as it goes further, as developers bid on that, there's going to be certain payouts that developer will get for developing on land that the city's going to sell them or lease to them.
Right.
So it's going to mean taxpayer money actually spends to fix that area, which is what he's against, which I would totally agree with.
Yeah, and just to go off track really quick, because I brought this up to you earlier because I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. The Standing O plan, that is a development plan for the Three Corners area that was presented, and it's basically the only plan. Is that what I'm...
As far as I know, it's the only plan that's being talked about.
And it apparently received like a standing ovation from the people
Yeah,
who were there.
I guess.
I was like,
Politics, you know.
so they just started calling it the Standing O plan, and
Yeah.
now every politician gets behind it because it's
The only
received a
one.
standing ovation. So
Yep. But yeah, I like that answer. That's, because we look at, once government starts leasing land or even being heavily involved in these construction jobs,
they get a hard on for controlling what it is and how it's done.
And somewhat likely so, the development company's then like, okay, well then we need taxpayer money to help us foot the bill for this.
Yeah.
Which, from their point, kind of makes sense. But for a taxpayer, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just tell it to them how it is, and then let them do what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the old power plant. None of that was taxpayer funded, you know?
Oh, the
American Icon, yeah.
That just took forever for whatever reason.
Well, because they had buried diesel tanks and all the soil was contaminated, so he had to actually remove all the contaminated soil and replace it.
It sat there too for a while. So
I think I read somewhere that it was over $7 million just in
site development.
Yeah, just extracting all that contaminated oil, having the land surveyed, and replacing the.
Dude, he should have told the U.S. government there's oil there.
They would have came in, siphoned that shit right out.
Imagine like 17 fucking Blackhawks fly over Sebastian.
The funny thing about that is like everything in the building envelope, like everything 10 feet from the building and in is all still contaminated, right?
Yeah.
They're going to replace the soil under the building.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I wonder what that's a good point to bring up.
Not only that, it's like the soil's been that place has been shut down for
forever, man.
I'm just turned 27 and I've never seen that place.
Oh, I've never seen it either.
Yeah, so for at the very, very least 30 years, I would probably go on to say probably more like 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now it's his problem to deal with that?
Yeah.
True.
Like what does it do? What has it been doing for the last 50 years?
Well, and that's the thing, and if he didn't, it would still be sitting there.
Yeah.
That is exactly
it's probably
the
why
point.
it sat there for so long, because no one's like, I don't want to pay $7 million to...
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
fucking
it's an
project.
awesome old historic building, but that's a price tag to take
Yeah.
on. You know?
Yeah.
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 That place is cool though.
Uh-huh.
Next-
Only if they made better food and better beer. But go on.
Yeah.
Next
Place is
question.
cool if it didn't suck in every single way possible.
No, the building is cool. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
it
the
does.
building is
It does
cool.
stay busy though, so props to him.
I
Yeah.
don't. It's because they do a lot of events. That's what.
Hey.
And they do a lot of events, and it's a cool.
Yeah, it's like
atmosphere.
it's like a nostalgia kind
But
of.
if
like
you're a
cool
local and
concept.
you go there, you're like, the food sucks and the beer is not very good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the glasses are always kind of dirty.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
So the next question is, do you agree with the stormwater tax? If yes, what is the number one new strategy that can be put forward that could not be done already with the current budget? Heady says, a new tax is not the answer. Stop dumping in the lagoon. Straightforward guy.
Yeah. Stop dumping it.
Cam,
there.
that's directed
Cam,
at you.
Yeah, Cam, that's
Guys,
you,
stop
dude.
shitting on the islands, bro.
Dude.
Dude, sometimes you get struck.
I think
bro.
Heady's calling you out, dude. He's like,
Yeah. He's like, I heard your last podcast.
Yeah.
he was at the river on Sunset and just saw you shitting.
Yeah. He's like, wait, is that fucking Cameron from Politics on the Rocks? He's like, that motherfucker. Bitching about how dirty the lagoon is. This motherfucker's out here shitting everywhere.
He's trying to grow that seagrass, bro.
Oh, man.
Fertilize the land, baby.
It happens. It happens.
No, I understand, man.
All right. The last question we asked is, if you had absolute power in Vero Beach, what would be your first priority in terms of policy and why? Answer, have the spending in the budget equal or less than expected income. No new borrowing.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck with that.
And that's the
Simple.
thing with Heady is you know that he means it. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like these other people that want to like cut the budget in quotes, and then they just cave and like maybe they allow like half or 3/4 of.
Yeah, that's the comforting part. It's like when you hear him talk, or well, whatever he wrote down or whatever, you say, okay, like
I
this
heard
is
him
somebody
in my
who
head.
means it. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
And you know he
what
means
says.
it because all of his answers
Are consistent.
And I said that. Yeah, I said this earlier, but all of his answers are consistent with what you would extrapolate his principles to be and his morals to be. So
Exactly.
he's very consistent in what he says, which
So comforting.
is way that's like if you can do that as a politician, you're already doing better than 99%.
I can sleep tonight knowing that Brian Heady exists.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You also know he means it because everyone hates him.
You know
That's
what's really
true, too.
weird about you saying that is what I said like 20 minutes earlier, how we were going to take advantage of him.
Oh, man.
We're
All
not
right.
really going to do that. Well, they aren't. I might try to.
So the last questionnaire we got from the Vero Beach candidates is Taylor Dingle.
Oh, Dingle.
Mr. Dingle.
Dingle dangle.
We like you, Dingle.
Do we have a
Yeah.
bias against Dingle just because he's not like a super old sack?
Maybe, but I think I like him just in general.
No, yeah, I think I think out of all the candidates, him and Heady have been the...
No, I like him too,
Given
but
the
I just
most.
like the fact that he's not super old.
Yeah.
Well,
It's definitely
yeah, that's a
like
big
plus
part of it.
10.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a plus
like-
10. It's a plus 10.
And I think like one of the statements he said at multiple forums, you know, why he's running, is everybody else is literally, you know, statistically 10, 15 years away from their deathbed
Yeah.
trying to run the Vero Beach city.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to be a part of the city council and make the city something he's going to want as he grows older into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
He's also gaining super valuable experience by running and
Yeah.
going through all the motions of it and stuff.
yeah.
True.
So all the questions we asked Taylor are the same are for Heady. So I'm just going to ring off quickly not quickly, but I'm going to just ring his answers. So the first question was the neighborhood question. Taylor stated, I live on 18th Street in the city of Vero Beach. When first arriving to Vero, I instantly had an endearment for the area and community. Also, a local who I proposed to in November, she wanted to stay close to her family and mine can always, to her family, and mine can always visit us in this paradise. We go out 3 to 4 times a week, usually in the downtown Vero Beach area, Post and Vine, Southern Social, Sean Ryan's, Blue Agave, Big Shots, and Walking Tree Brewery.
He's probably definitely seen
We've
us
definitely
out
seen him.
hammer. He's
Yeah.
probably like, these guys are
Yeah, he's probably like, these fucking
deplorable.
idiots.
These guys need to get out
Deplorables.
of this. Yeah.
And he's not wrong. 2, this is the question about zoning. We live in arguably the best kept secret in Florida, an area that hasn't abandoned its principles or sold out to major corporations in regards to our oceanfront properties. Sunrises, not high rises. It's his quotation. It's something he said to a couple times. We must continue to honor the traditions and history and respect those founders
no.
who came before us.
We
What's
just
happening?
found
Guys, he did blackface.
Oh,
he did
no.
blackface, guys.
Oh, God.
so that's definitely like a military.
Yeah, no,
Face
it's
paint thing,
no,
right?
yeah, because he's wearing the camo
That's
penguin
hilarious.
jersey.
So they're gonna crop out the bottom part. And
Yeah,
just,
and be like,
make
"He's
him out
a
to be doing
racist."
blackface.
I'll be honest though, I think someone bold enough to come out and do blackface, like, that's probably not like a very like,
So like Justin Trudeau.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do blackface, you know, you get some points there for me.
I've seeing a picture of him though. I feel like I've definitely seen him out.
Yeah, he's a nice looking kid.
Yeah, seems
Good
like
looking
a nice
guy.
Maybe we'll take advantage of him too. We'll see.
I tell you, you want to take advantage of us? Just let us know.
kid. Yeah, meet us at the cigar bar.
All right. The third question.
Be the guys in the white van.
Yeah. Says free candy on it. Anyway, go ahead.
The third question is the housing shortage question. Taylor's answer. I understand how many may see a housing shortage. This is a historic location built on citrus groves. I'm sure back in the 1930s and 50s, it wasn't considered or imagined to be home to 16,000 full-time residents, 20,000 in season. The real focus now is affordable housing. This is something that has been discussed with our Indian River County commissioners. I hope they continue with their deliberation for affordable housing. The city council should support the county's efforts regarding this conflict, however feasible. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we mentioned it, right? The city can only grow so much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
then it goes into the county. So, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, not bad answer.
I don't know what affordable housing is, but
Subsidized housing.
hopefully not. Let's see here. Next
Seems
question.
like when the government tries to make housing affordable.
Yeah, that's what it
opposite
is.
happens.
Yeah. Affordable housing. That's weird. This isn't very affordable at all. Let's see here. But, no, good idea. Good idea. So next question, is the, authority on the three corners. This is a project I'm very excited about. It could impact our community/economy for the next 100 years. The city council voted 5-0 in favor of the Standing O plan. You rhyming son of a gun. It's a great plan with wonderful amenities missing on the mainland. If I had the sole authority, I would focus on the biggest missed market in Vero Beach, and that is the boating community. We are a growing marina with a wait list and many private homes with docks, but yet there is only one location to visit by boat in Vero, Riverside Bar and Grill. We travel down to Fort Pierce on the boat instead, and then go to both ways. And that can go both ways.
That's actually a really good point because that's something that I'm sure you can relate to. There's there's a couple more. You go down into some of the canals. There's like the restaurants in Royal Palm Point, but I mean, really only one of them has their own dock. But I think that's a really good point because I think that would bring a lot more, not necessarily tourism, but a lot more business and industry to the area, right?
Yeah, like Riverside, business. And like
Yeah.
you mentioned, there's one restaurant that's accessible by boat.
Yeah, because
in this
all of it is
city.
private. All
Yeah.
of it is private. Yeah.
Right.
It's all country clubs and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You go to Fort Pierce, you can dock up at like a bunch of different restaurants.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, a ton of them. Yeah, a ton of them.
No, that's cool. Again, that's our question is giving him sole authority.
And I like how being a young guy that like, goes out and hangs out like
Does
in the
things.
town a
Goes
lot.
outside of his house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of coronavirus like that one
Ken Doge.
Doge guy.
Or he's not like Neville, where he's like
He's just got
banging
a pair
out people who are like having parties and stuff.
He's got a pair of binoculars, like just
Yeah.
looking out his window.
Who is that at that house?
But no, so he thought about the thing about how, if we're developing the island to have like good, like a good scene for like bars and things like that, it's important for people to be able to like get around. He was talking about like the transportation from the downtown Vero area, which is pretty far away from the riverfront. It's like 14th Street,
To
pretty far back.
yeah.
So like he was talking about how like having a shuttle bus system that goes from there to the other areas would be like a pretty big commodity to have.
Yeah.
Just like get people around to different
Get people
areas.
moving.
Dude, I didn't realize this is Heady.
Yeah.
You guys seen him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
made it.
Yeah,
that
you
one
seen him?
that one is especially
Wait, it looks
lit.
like a homeless guy.
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. I like this guy even more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He is Vermin Supreme.
My guy.
Oh yeah.
He
yeah.
is the
Shit,
local
dude, with the
Vermin Supreme. Dude,
Eagles
look at him
and
with
Mount
the,
Rushmore, dude.
dude,
Come
he's got
on.
that USA collared shirt with the big bald eagle on the front.
Yeah,
Like,
Mount
hell
Rushmore, dude. This guy's getting me fired up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the way he holds a mic just gets me.
Oh wait, is this? This makes it even weirder because I was saying we were going to take advantage of him,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
yeah, you said that.
yeah, I did.
So
Yeah, whatever. We'll go for
No,
it.
I mean, I think
No, but that's yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I think Dingle brings up a good point. I mean, like, that is one of the, I mean, I don't want to say issues, but one of the things with Vero is that, like, almost all the property on
Yeah.
the water, on both sides, is almost all private. So, like, you don't have a downtown area like you do in, Stewart or Fort
Yeah.
Pierce where it's on the water. It's all downtown, which is
Yeah,
not
down
very
by
big.
the inlet in Fort Pierce, there's so many
Oh, yeah,
like,
there's a
little
lot of
restaurants
area.
and stuff you can pull into on
Yeah.
the boat. It's nice.
So I mean, he makes a good point there. I mean, and if he has absolute authority, which we've given him in that question,
no, it's a good.
Yeah.
I would even think, without absolute authority, and you just selling that land,
you would hope, yeah.
and not even hope. Like, obviously, there's people who either want to build condos, or frickin' Captain Hiram's is going to eye that spot and be like, "Fuck yeah, Captain Hiram's River Beach."
Hell
Let the
yeah.
kids play in the jaggedy
Jagged
seawall
rocks.
yeah.
instead of a
It's
sandbar.
like, whenever I go up to Sebastian Inlet, I always see like parents just like totally ignoring their kids, and their kids are just like walking across these giant fucking boulders barefoot, like
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
to fall and crack their head open. I'm
It's
like,
great, dude.
I would have liked to see one of these questionnaires come back where they whatever questions we asked were in regard to what would you like to see in regards to how to bring business. I would have liked one of them to kind of comment on like maybe bringing back the cocaine industry in Sebastian. I feel like
very important.
yeah, I feel like it was a very like booming era in the Indian River County is when we had that large influx of cocaine moving in and out of the county.
Back with the rugs, right?
The rugs.
The rugs?
Is that what you're talking about? The rugs?
Rugs, I don't know.
No, yeah, we had a guy who owned a rug shop.
I think this shop is still here, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I mean, most of like a lot of the bigger businesses in this area were like birthed for the cocaine industry. And
Yeah.
they just kind of like
Wait, what was
survived.
the other one? Coast to Coast?
Yeah, coast to coast, Captain Hiram's, a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring a coke.
Square
So,
grouper?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure, yeah. Actually, is Square Grouper on the... Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I would like to see, maybe a comment on that, bringing back some of that good cocaine money and bringing some of that back into the county.
We just want to restore the cocaine industry.
Yeah.
We just want to end the war on
a lot
drugs.
of the-
Could you imagine though?
lot of the old
At the
guys-
walking tree thing, someone's like, "What would you like to see for the, the businesses, the small businesses of Indian River County?" And whoever, Heady or Dingle or whoever it was, were like, "Well, I've really thought long and hard about this question, and I think the best case scenario is to bring back a lot of the cocaine industry from the the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because that was when." Most of the biggest business have, made their mark in the county and, and they've lasted. So, I think it'd be really good to bring a lot of that cocaine money, a lot of, the violence, and, I think that would have been a pretty solid answer.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way you could say it wouldn't be effective.
Yeah, I mean, look at Miami driving.
A lot of those beach communities were pretty heavy on the cocaine, weren't they? Where
Oh, yeah.
they would airdrop it
Yeah.
in on the beach right there.
John's
and then-
Island, they used to bring it in through the boats.
Yeah.
That's actually how they. None of this is confirmed. Obviously,
This is off the record. This is off the
Yeah,
record.
because a lot of people would be in prison. And a lot of those businesses would not exist anymore. But the stories, the legend has it that
Every single old guy I work with has confirmed this. So
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it. Nobody's been arrested, so it's not air quotes confirmed. But apparently, the legend has it that they would bring the cocaine into John's Island, and then the lawn company, like Coast to Coast and those kind of companies, would go in there with their lawn trucks empty, and they would offload the boats, and that's the story, at least.
Yeah.
nice.
Same thing with Captain Hiram's. There's actually this really good article.
While you look that up, I'll go to the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we're still doing that?
Yeah, we still got 2 more questions. So the next question for Dingle. Do you agree with the stormwater tax? That was our question. This stormwater tax is like throwing an ice cube in boiling water. It's useless if our neighbors in Brevard and St. Lucie County aren't making any efforts, let alone our own county that dumps 19,000 plus gallons into our canal. City residents shouldn't be paying the bill for this. We do have a major conflict, but this fight is too big for the city of River Beach. If elected, the first goal for the lagoon's advantage would be removing the city's water sewage plant off the waterfront property, then reaching out to the other elected officials along the East Coast to see what actions they are taking, which I've been doing already. We need to unite and tackle this issue together. Governor DeSantis recently announced $53.4 million to assist with the efforts on the lagoon throughout the whole state. Indian River County will be receiving $1.5 million from those funds. Seems like a small amount.
It really does, considering we're a waterfront
Yeah.
county.
I wonder
And how many waterfront counties are there?
Well,
Definitely not 54 of them.
Yeah.
There's
You
definitely
know.
a lot of them, though. I mean, it's Florida, right?
Well, there's only like 7 counties on the East Coast, right?
On the
Well,
East Coast, yeah.
well, on the
so
West
I mean,
Coast, too.
for like statewide.
Well, no, I think this is only for the Indian River Lagoon. Or
Oh,
the
okay.
St.
Oh,
John's.
okay.
Oh, that's just for...
St. John's River.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's only like maybe 7 counties.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like much.
Yeah, that's odd.
Who the fuck did that up? But
Yeah.
that's a pretty good answer. Yeah.
I blame Neville. Since
I like
he's
that
on there
answer.
right
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and I like his analogy with the ice cube and boiling water.
yeah.
I think that's it's good sign of intelligence. You make a good analogy,
I like it. The last question we have for him was the absolute power in Vero Beach. What would be your first priority in terms of policy and why? I feel like you had a little fun with this answer, which is kind of cool. If I had absolute power in Vero Beach, my first priority in terms of policy would be pushing the agenda for a water inlet in Vero. We used to have one, but was removed during the construction of A1A. The connection would be located through Bethel Creek near J.C. Park. It would be the best feasible outcome for the lagoon's long-term health while also opening our economy to more visitors for our shops and restaurants. Our manatees are dying from starvation from lack of seagrass. Seagrass grows in saltwater, not stormwater. It's a bold move, but you gave me absolute power. Which we did.
Yeah.
Wait, repeat that one. Sorry, repeat it.
You son
No,
of
no,
a...
I heard
He
the
just said he's thinking about opening. He would open an inlet where it used to be right at Bethel Creek, which is
I like
something we
that.
talked about before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is when I read them, like, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Listen to our podcast?
I mean, well, when you think about it, it's like
Taking our ideas.
you think about all the other money that they're spending to restore the lagoon, and it's obviously proven to be kind of not effective. It's like, well, let's stop wasting the money and just go for the fucking biscuit.
Just blow the fucking place up.
Yeah.
Make it-
Well, that's the problem. There's too many. You know, if you want to build a house out, or if you want to like knock people's homes down and move them to build a road down 60, that's okay. But you know, God forbid you ask the people on the river that you know they have to relocate.
Yeah,
That's
it wouldn't be
obviously
anybody
too
though,
much.
right? I mean, I'm
Well,
not,
Bethel Creek, isn't that where?
There's no houses
Park.
right there.
Oh no.
There's the one building that's there that they'd probably have to remove is the Vero Beach emergency like guard the lifeguards.
yeah,
They have that building.
we don't
they
care
can
about
move
them.
that. That's not a big deal.
I think lifeguards are useless. They don't save anything.
they're not there half the time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I mean, I mean, it would cost the city money though, as far as like doing that.
I mean, how much dynamite do you
maintaining
need?
it, and then you'd have to build a bridge.
I hope
mean,
a
it
lot.
costs a lot of freaking money.
I mean, we got
a lot.
So wait, Bethel, that's north of the bridge, right? Or no?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
It should all be
Yeah, you
see
can
that
see.
creek
Look
there.
how thin it gets there.
Yep.
because it used to be one.
Well,
Okay.
JC Park's there now too.
Well, no,
Or is it-
that used to be an inlet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You can
It's
see
tiny,
where it
bro.
naturally. I bet you if you put an inlet there, all of this would be a sandbar.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is
Queens
that
Holding, but yeah, what's all? There's a lot more there than you guys think.
Well,
It's
do
not there.
the aerial map so we can see what the
Well,
building.
that's the thing too. Like, if you there's so much
Oh, yeah.
that would happen. Because
There's a
if
lot
you-
there.
If you
That
cause an
contribute to
inlet right there,
erosion.
there's a lot of houses.
Mhm.
I mean, and you have like.
I mean, there's
serious-
like probably
serious-
100 right there alone.
Yeah, you have serious water running through there now.
Hey, those houses are probably all
Hey,
pilings.
almost 1,000 manatees have died. If 100 families have to die for there to be an inlet in Vero Beach,
Look how narrow that is, though. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's narrow.
Never
dude.
really
It's
noticed
super
that.
narrow.
yeah, you can see the river when you're driving
Oh,
through
you
A1A right
can,
there.
Yeah, you can see both. You can see
Yeah,
the beach and the-
this would all be sandbar. All this
I
shit would
love
be sandbar.
driving down that Live Creek or Live
Oh, so
Oak.
fuck, that's right where all the sailboats are. Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
right
where
there.
the
in the
marina-
marina.
all right,
That's
all
the
right.
other
Marina
issue
is.
because you can't have a marina there
Yeah.
because it would be like super fast running water.
Oh
Right.
no, the rich people have to move their sailboats. You can have a marina there. Why couldn't you have a marina there? There's a fucking marina's like 100 yards from the
Yeah.
south.
Fort Pierce Inlet.
I mean, I think it's
And
more
that
com-
inlet gets ripping sometimes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be more complicated than we think because
I mean-
that water, an inlet it's fast running.
It's a
water.
lot of, yeah.
The
mean,
biggest
listen.
problem is just getting all the dynamite. From there, I think
Those-
it's smooth sailing.
Those were man-made islands.
Well, I don't even know if it'd be dynamite. I mean, you destruct the houses, then you would dredge it all.
I mean,
Those were man-made islands.
Right. Yeah.
They can be man-unmade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, fuck, they dredge how much through the river every year.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just
lot
about to
of
say,
those,
yeah, look at that too. Look how narrow that is. That's a fucking Sebastian
Yeah.
Inlet.
all those
Dumbass.
neighborhoods down like in Vero around where the bridges are and south of it. Most of those neighborhoods, those islands, are all like man-made. Well,
they're
they were
all-
like
all there.
they
Yeah.
were like swampy islands, and then they
Yeah.
like
they dumped the
They-
dredge right on them.
yeah, they just brought trucks in there, took stuff straight out of the river, and then dumped it on
Well, yeah. When
the
they
property.
dredge the canal, that's how they make this.
Yeah, they dredge the inlet or the channels.
the channels. Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, not
I
the
think
canal,
what
the
happened
channels.
was they dredged the canal.
Shut
They
the
dredge
fuck
them?
up! I'll fucking kill you both.
But yeah, I don't know.
Dredge.
There's a lot there, but
I think, and that's why whenever we do like, our soil explorations and stuff there, pretty much all those houses are on pilings because it's just like shit. It's just built straight on
It's just
shit.
muck. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, imagine how healthy that would be for the river, though.
It's almost like it was made for that reason to be like that, and we fucked it up.
that's it, man.
We'll take all those nutrients and put them right under our house.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, what if they did one like here?
down south.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, in between the 17th and the.
Why don't we just
Barber
figure
Ridge.
out where Ray Neville's house is, and that's
build
exactly
it right through there.
Yeah, right.
Makes sense.
Where's the tides? Let's find the tides. Let's see if we can do it.
Just
Tides
fucking.
should be right about here.
Oh man, but yeah, thank you everybody who filled out the questionnaire. So that was
Yeah.
Phipps.
And anything we said, if you find it offensive, they're just jokes. They're
Yeah.
just jokes, guys. They're just jokes.
We're a comedic podcast.
Heady, we're not going to actually take advantage of you. You're
Unless you
way
want to.
too old for our liking.
but
Taylor, on the other hand, you have a little bit to worry about. You're a decent looking guy.
decent looking guy. You're
Yeah.
young. You're youthful.
Yeah.
Got a great smile.
Probably got a lot of energy in you. Anyway. Are we done with this? We're done with the whole the council. What
Yeah.
what have we been calling this
Yeah, I think
series?
so.
The Council Chronicles. Sure.
Council
Oh, there
Chronicles.
you go.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Have we said that in the past?
Nope.
I like it.
The Council Chronicle.
The only other
The
thing,
Council Files was the first file you sent us, but I like the Council Chronicle better. It's a good one.
yeah. The only other thing I watched was the county commissioner meeting again. This one wasn't as long, thankfully. It was like an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. Nice.
And again, I just watched it like on 1.75 speed. Nothing really happened in that. It was a lot of like politicianing, which just means like groups that the county has supported come and say thank you for doing this in this year.
Oh, yeah.
Or like thank you. This is like October. This is like spousal abuse awareness, and
Right.
that was all that. The one really cool, interesting thing was there was a gentleman, which I can't remember his name. It started with a W. He addressed the council, and his whole addressing was just for just to state and put on record that he feels the way that the state or the nation's going, right, with all these mandates and vaccine mandates and rights taken away. He just wants to state that he doesn't want any county to become this. So it's pretty cool. It was a little bit longer, and he actually went like depth and things he said. It made sense, and it was just him kind of again putting on record. He wants them to think about this and make sure, they are not falling into this trap of taking away rights and becoming more aggressive with mandates. So
Which we love.
yeah, that was pretty cool. I was like, that's probably the best thing that happened in that council since I've been watching. And there was one funny bit. I was listening. I had to like stop and rewind real fast and listen to it. There was this lady who's a part of this spousal abuse, like not committee, but like an actual program that helps people. And counties helped them out. She came in like, we want to thank you. This week of October is for awareness for this. You guys helped us in all this. And she's wearing a mask. And one of the guys in the council, like, she talks for like 5 minutes and stops. And she's like, "Hey, can I stop you for a second?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you vaccinated?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, can you take your mask off, please? Because I feel like you wearing a mask, you're being muzzled. And I don't want that."
Oh my God.
Dude, it was literally, I wish I would have saved it and we could play it. Because
It's hilarious.
The what's the word? The optics of it.
Yeah.
Like this woman's literally part of a like abuse like firm. And like this guy is like stopping her and being like, "What you're doing, I'm stopping you because you look like you're being muzzled."
Right.
Oh my
And it's like,
God.
and I don't
That's
think
so bizarre.
you don't have to wear a mask to be in this the county building. I don't think so. It's like up to her to wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
right.
cow.
So it was just funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Like I just want to make sure this is on the record. I'm telling this woman she does not need to be muzzled.
Yeah.
I'm so with the cause.
Yeah.
I'm so anti-abuse that I'm going to tell you take your muzzle off.
Yeah. That you're willingly wearing.
That's unreal.
But that was it, man. I don't know. This freaking local stuff is crazy. This crazy boring.
Yeah.
It's
I know, I'm looking, I'm like, wow, we burnt through an hour doing that.
yeah.
So yeah, with all that being said, I think we beat that to death. So yeah, let's move on. You guys want to let's see what we have in the notes here. You guys want to wrong file.
I guess we got those protests going on now. Those vax mandate protests.
Yeah, Southwest canceled 1,800 plus flights in the last. I think this happened Sunday, and it extended into today, Monday. So I don't even know what the. Let me look it up. What the current Southwest cancellation.
It's been a lot of bad weather.
Yeah. A lot of
That's so funny because
storms.
I like when that post where it shows like the side by sides, and there's like 2 clouds over the entire country.
Oh,
yeah, there's
man.
like one green cloud in Texas.
Yeah.
Like just minor.
Are they actually claiming that though?
Southwest
That's what they
canceled
said
more
on
than
Sunday.
2,000. Loading. Southwest canceled more than 2,000 flights Friday through Sunday. The world's largest low-cost carrier canceled 3 of every 10 departures it had scheduled on Sunday, and the disruption continued into Monday, a federal holiday, with 337 flights, or about 1 in 10, canceled so far, according to the aviation tracking website FlightAware. The company blamed the cancellations on air traffic control problems and limited staffing in Florida, as well as bad weather. It told CNN late Sunday that getting operations back to normal was more difficult and prolonged because of schedule and staffing reduction made during the pandemic. Okay, so if it was made during the pandemic, why did it all just seem to come to an head today?
Right.
Or yesterday. We've continued diligently working throughout the weekend to reset our operations with a focus on getting aircraft and crew repositioned to take care of our customers, the airline said in a statement. I'm not going to read the whole article, but...
And that's from CNN Business, so you know it's legit.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to, use CNN as the...
I'm just fucking...
No, I know. Yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty cool, I think, right? I mean...
Yeah, they're probably, like, super happy, like, the market was, like, closed today or whatever, because it's probably plummeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm going to look it up right now and see what it did.
Oh, did it? Yeah, because it's fucking Monday. Well,
I mean,
today I think it was
today.
kind of slow because it was banks are closed.
It's closed today, probably.
Yeah, the market's not open today.
Yeah.
The market's closed. Okay.
It
I
should
thought
be.
the market was open, but most of the businesses were closed, so it was like
I
not
don't know
really
if it was open
responsive.
or not. I just assumed that it was
I'm pretty
open.
sure it's not open on Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fresh Market was closed.
That's
Fresh
true.
Market? Yeah.
But but if it was a protest, wouldn't we know about it though?
No.
Like
I
when
mean, you would,
It'd be
but
like
you
video
wouldn't.
footage of it.
it'd be more of like wouldn't they like want their
It'd be
cause
like
to get out
public,
there?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like a
Like a union thing, maybe.
yeah. Well, it's definitely a union thing because there's the pilots union. So that's kind of what jump started it, was that the pilots union or the airlines were mandating vaccines, and then the pilots union was against it, and then
But I just seen on whatever one of the Today news outlets said that the pilots union is basically saying that it's not because of the COVID mandate.
oh, so I guess I'm just full of shit.
Well, no. What were you gonna say? I'll look it up.
No. I think so. What I was gonna say is, I think that the main thing that caused the Florida stoppages was that the air traffic controllers walked out.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I think it was a combination. But then there's that video that I'm sure we've all seen of the that one pilot saying he's been a Southwest airline pilot
Yep.
for 18 years, and
Yep.
that his basically his career is being jeopardized because he doesn't have medical choice now. This, that, the other.
Right.
I think this is just a classic media trying to cover up.
Yeah.
I
More than likely.
definitely think I think it's probably. I don't know. I guess I can't say for sure, but
You
I
see that stupid advertisement on the right of the screen?
wear a mask, pass it on, so you
It's
don't
like
pass
emojis with masks
it on. What
on.
the fuck? That's
So-
gonna be the next thing, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get the emojis with the
I'm
masks.
surprised we don't have them yet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that kind of goes back into, like, something that we talked about before, but, like, the people who aren't making a lot of money, like, maybe I don't know how much money those guys make. I think
Air
they
traffic
make
control
pretty-
makes a lot of
they
money.
make
They
pretty,
make-
yeah, they make
pretty
good
money.
ass money.
Yeah.
They make a lot of money.
I guess I'm thinking
They
about
also
the guys-
kill the fuck out of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have one of the highest suicide rates.
Well, they
Dude,
per
imagine
career.
they
they work in a dark
all day.
room by the exactly, and that's the other thing is, like, you're gonna make air traffic controllers get vaccinated. They literally sit in a dark room by themselves all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
with
like
each other,
5 or
right?
6 of them in that big ass
Yeah.
tower.
And that's, like, all it is. Those guys come into the cafe all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like those
man.
towers look small from the ground, but like in big international airports, they're fucking huge.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
imagine, yeah.
It's like a command center, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for
Right.
airport pilots and
Probably like freaking so much weight of like computers up there.
Yeah, I have a buddy who he's an air traffic controller in Colorado, I think. Colorado? One of those like Midwest-ish West states. But he said they actually work like they do like 2 hours on, an hour off, or 2 hours on, 2 hours off because it's so stressful.
They do
Yeah,
have
they
one.
do. There's one
Yeah,
ma-
but they've had that one.
That
for
one's
a while.
been there
Yeah.
since before COVID. That's
Oh, it's
the
like a
one
nurse?
mask.
Yeah.
yeah. It's the one mask emoji that they have.
Oh, look, now Ireland pilots are protesting also. When was
Ooh,
this reported?
Ireland.
Ireland, eh?
They're not
Oh,
gonna do
great.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. I don't know. It's good to see
Oh, this
people
was a while
like
ago.
standing up. You know.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah. What I would like to see is the people that are vaccinated and are being asked to show their their vaccine cards for them to withhold it and leave it up to corporate America to figure out how the fuck they're going to decide.
They're not
who...
going to do that though.
No, I know. Well, yeah, probably the vast majority aren't, but I've been seeing more and more people who like, yeah, this is anecdotal, but I also feel like I've seen it more throughout the country, but more people who at the start of all this were like pro-vaccine, maybe not pro-mandate, but they thought it was a good idea for everyone to have it. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing more and more of those people kind of shifting tides and saying like, this is not right. Like,
yeah, they're
I'm
like,
not
wait,
cool
what the
with
fuck's going on
Yeah.
here? Like, it's been months now that they're just pushing this shit, and it's like, clearly not necessary. I went to a wedding in New York recently, and talked to a lot of people that I know from college and stuff, and, you know, most of them up there are vaccinated at this point because it's, you know, pretty hard to get around and not be vaccinated in the Northeast right now.
Right.
And they're all telling me, you know, yeah, like I'm vaccinated, but I totally fucking agree with you. Like it's bullshit what they're doing right now. So it's nice to see people that are, you know, they have the green card, so to speak, but they're not
necessarily conformed to the way of thinking. Yeah. No, that is a good sign, man. That's cool to see. Because I feel like a lot of people who, I don't know, I guess it's not just as cut as dry as it may seem, you know. Either you're for it or you're not. And that's not necessarily true. Some people have to make the decision to do it, but they're not necessarily for it.
Yeah, or maybe they really think it's the best thing for them to do, but they don't necessarily think it might be the best thing for everyone to do.
And that's also a good point.
I love when you look up if you type Southwest, right? That's all you type. Southwest cancellation delays, deny it's because of pilot protests, like all of them denies sick out over pilot, like the top like page and a half, like 2 pages is all denying that it's because of a protest.
Yeah,
but it's
Google.
like, you know, right? Like if you know any better.
I like how you knew you go to Google to see what, you know.
Yeah.
If you type it on DuckDuckGo, it's going to be completely different results.
Yep. It might not though, because even sometimes DuckDuckGo, like,
yeah,
they still curate a lot of the same search engine, like the same like search parameters,
right?
But it's less like restrictive. You'll find a lot more shit that you wouldn't find on Google.
Yeah, like when I'm on DuckDuckGo, I see a lot of the news outlets that Google would consider like domestic terrorists and stuff.
Yeah.
Like what is
like
it?
Politics on the
Gateway pundits.
Yeah.
A couple of those outlets that, you know, people call conspiracy theorists and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, see here they're saying it's less than 1% of their flights, so it's not that big of a deal.
Again,
weird. What else is less than 1% of?
When you're
It seems like
when you're messing with numbers,
inaccurate.
use fractions when it's in for your benefit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, less than
Or percentages,
1%.
sorry.
Where have we heard that one before? Oh, one thing I
Couldn't
saw
be
today
COVID.
that I posted about Singapore had like very low cases, and over there people wear masks a lot, and so people were kind of attributing it to that. And then they recently reached 85% vaccination, and cases just skyrocketed in Singapore in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like it's 2 or 3 times higher than what their previous high was.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So, yeah, how are those vaccines working? You know?
Wow, Delta Airlines is flying a different route. Delta CEO Ed Bastian said he is undecided on the mandate and pointed to a $200 per month surcharge for unvaccinated staff.
Jeez.
Putting the carriers
fining
compliant.
them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we'll be at over 90% by the end of this month. Yeah, well, if you fire half your staff, of course you're going to be at 90%.
And that goes back to the thing where, you know, if something is punishable by fine, that means it's legal, but for a price.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, because I think, I don't know why it's just Southwest. I don't know. Are they the only...
Well,
That's
they're
the only
they're
one
like
I've seen,
they're
but-
a budget plane, right?
Yeah,
No,
I think they're-
Southwest? No, they just deal with most of the west of the country. That's why, like, I
Oh,
don't know, we don't fly
no,
them.
but it is. It's a cheaper flight. You just
Really?
mentioned
Usually,
it a second
yeah.
ago. Yeah, it's a cheaper
Them and like
budgeted
JetBlue are kind of like a budget airline, but they're still good quality.
Yeah, they're
compared
not
to,
like Spirit.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. That's
Oh
what I
yeah,
was gonna
low
say.
cost carrier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit's literally like a bus on wheel.
Yeah, I guess that's
Bus
I
with
guess
wings.
that's when I think of low cost. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
like Spirit
Yeah.
or Frontier or.
I think at one time I took a Spirit plane to Jersey and I had to sit on some guy's lap.
Yeah.
That was part of my seat.
Is JetBlue considered?
You're like, we're
It's,
out of seats, but this guy's lap.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
a lot more diverse.
I'm like,
$5.
do I still have to pay $40 for my second baggage? Like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
Is this guy going to be aroused?
But,
They're like, here's some peanuts. That's all you get. And water.
No, you can't do that anymore. No
Oh.
peanuts.
No
Oh
peanuts.
yeah, no peanuts on the plane. It's all
Oh,
pretzels now, so your mouth is dry as fuck.
Yeah, but you don't get anything to drink unless you pay for it.
Yeah, that's the trick. They're like, here's saltine crackers, but we're not going to give you something to drink with it. This is the new saltine cracker
We're gonna
challenge.
give you a 2-ounce thing of water, but it's filled to the brim with ice, so it's really just like half an ounce of water.
by the time we land, you'll be water.
Yeah, you'll have water, right?
Yeah. No, they pick it up. They pick up all the trash before it turns to water.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it being a budget one, it doesn't. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe that would.
They probably don't pay the pilots as much, so they're probably. I really don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just
I
speculating.
feel like they're just ripping on them. You know, they're like they don't like them because they're providing a service for cheaper and making everyone else look bad.
It could be.
That's just me.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, right?
I like
Yeah.
Southwest. I pretty much always fly Southwest.
I do, too, a lot because I can't afford anything else.
Yeah,
Where the fuck are you guys flying
and
that you take
fucking
Southwest?
Orlando has like ton of Southwest flights
Yeah.
going pretty much anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I can go to Albany where pretty much all my friends are, like direct flight. So
Oh, yeah.
happy about that.
Oh wait, right here it's saying
Fuck
it,
layover.
that accounts for more than 28% of its weekend schedule.
Well, that was canceled.
That percentage is a little higher
Yeah.
than the one. They
Yeah,
said.
I don't know where I seen that 1%. The cancellation wreaked havoc.
It was 1% of their whole for the entire month.
Yeah, something like that. Just,
Did
like,
you see the
manipulate
Did
numbers.
you see the Babylon Bees post? It was like Southwest offering free
Uh.
flights for anybody who knows how to fly a plane, or any vaccinated person who knows how to fly a plane.
Dude, the
pretty
bee,
funny.
man.
The B is great. Did you see that? They had a side by side. Where a couple months ago, the Babylon Bee was like Legos with their new genderless Lego. It doesn't have a female or male side.
Yeah, and
like
I
goes
posted
together.
that. Yeah,
Cool guy. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
and then
I
months
posted it
later,
and he posted it.
Yeah.
yeah, fuck you.
And then I read both of yours, so I forgot who posted it.
Yeah, I did first probably.
But yeah, now what they're having a genderless Lego set.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if they made a genderless Lego set.
Well,
but they were focusing on removing gender stereotypes
That's-
from their products or
yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
so like the 4 boys and 4 girls, like different
like,
sets of like.
no princess sets. No, I don't know. I really don't know what that means. Like,
No,
what
no.
does it mean?
I read it and it literally said they're just removing like 4 like from the
Like,
marketing,
marketing packaging.
for like if it's like an army Lego set, like they're not gonna
It has like
market it to
real
boys.
dykey girl with like
Right, because
Yeah.
we're because we're drafting women now, so it's also for women.
yeah. That's cool. But,
Interesting times.
No, I'm gonna throw
But-
this computer at you.
I mean, that's like I don't want to stay on this topic too much longer, but it's just one airline. But for people not to be able to travel, that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
Some
And
would
that's
say,
probably one of the most popular airlines
Yeah.
in the country. Right?
yeah.
What were
I
you
would
gonna say,
imagine.
I mean, did they get a bailout last year from COVID relief?
I don't know.
Because
let's look it up.
you got a
What
bailout.
airlines?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with all those bailouts for airlines.
No, they got it.
They did?
Yeah, they got
Probably.
I mean, how
Global
many
Airline.
trillions of dollars did they pass?
25 billion in airline bailouts.
Oh
Holy
my God.
shit!
I did not
That's where
know
all
that.
our COVID money went to. Everybody got $600, which what they added
You,
up.
you see now that the Fed is talking about
trying to get that money back, right?
trying to get that money back. You have to prove that you tried to get a job,
Which doesn't make sense because they sent to everybody regardless of job.
and they
Exactly.
stopped all business. So
It's like nobody asked for it.
Southwest
You
got
literally just sent it.
Southwest got 3.2 billion.
Oh my God.
They
That was
sent
the
them-
4th largest out
What
of
are
all
the-
the airlines.
What are they going to do with all the checks they sent to dead people?
Yeah.
Are those people have to prove they tried to get a job?
Fucking take it from the necklaces they got buried with.
Yeah, they're going to dig them up and take out any treasure. They
Well,
got
no,
buried
because
with.
they got votes from them, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Damn, dude. This next year is gonna be crazy.
Well, this next year is when we're really going to start to see the effects of all this bad policy making.
Oh, for sure.
from COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
I
coming.
mean, we're already starting to see it, right? The shortages at the ports, all these fucking ships that are stuck offshore for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no one in the loading docks to unload.
Yeah.
All those cranes, those big ass fucking four-legged cranes
Yep.
that operate up and down those docks. Like, there's
That lift
nobody
the
to drive them.
crates.
Wow.
Another thing I feel like we should, since we're on this topic, another COVID episode, but we're with the hospitals and shit, we're apparently at such a a critical point in the COVID epidemic where hospitals are being overwhelmed, but we're willing to let go of a large portion of them for not being vaccinated. How does that make sense?
Well, I mean, we have federal agents that can come in and take their job.
The National Guard.
Yeah, so I mean,
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah,
So-
honestly, though, I'm surprised that anybody's mandating these things, especially with the shortage of people to hire. Like, it's bewildering to me that that's a thing.
And it's
I mean, no
bizarre.
one's forcing them to do it.
well, no, Biden is.
Well, no, I guess you're right. I mean, I guess it is being forced, but
Whoever's
But-
controlling Biden, that is.
Yeah.
Right, but it's bizarre because
But-
here in Florida, where our governor said, "Hey, that like we're not cool with that,"
yeah,
you have people going against him. So,
Yeah.
like, what's stopping
Yeah.
these other counties in other states from going against their governor?
right.
Like DeSantis said, you can't mandate masks in school, and a lot of the counties said, "We're not listening to you. We don't care."
Yeah.
right,
So, what's stopping these other counties from saying, "We're not going to enforce that"?
Yeah.
yeah,
It comes back to the whole groupthink. If they
right.
agree with it, then they'll do it.
yeah.
Yeah, but to your point that you're making, Cam, yeah, even if it's being passed down from the federal government, if you really thought this was a terrible thing, or hey, this isn't good for my business because I already don't have people working, fuck you, government, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
They might use their lobbyists that they spend millions of dollars on, but
Yeah, I mean, even my wife's job just did it, but
Vaccine mandate?
yeah, but it was only for offices that had more than 25 people, which is at her office.
oh, that's a good cutoff, because once you get to 26 people, woo, COVID really.
Me and
fucks you
Chris
up.
were just talking about that. It was like the Biden
numbers
mandate.
game.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Biden mandate said 100. I'm like, okay, what's stopping these companies from saying, just splitting into two companies and saying, yeah, we work under the same building, but we're two different companies.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of companies with 99 employees.
Yeah.
You know what it is, bro? It's people who aren't willing to stick to their guns
Say it,
and
dude.
I'm gonna say it right
Say
now.
it.
Be principled on.
Oh, he said it.
Oh, my neighbors hate us.
I come.
But
I come.
But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. These people gotta stick to their guns and believe what they believe. But people just do whatever. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's such a bullshit thing to
Do
do.
whatever, you motherfucker.
Like-
It is bullshit.
Like you just want to sit down with someone, somebody who's making that decision of a company that's state and nationwide, and be like, so if we have 24 people, we don't need to be vaccinated, but 26, 25, we do.
No, you do?
Are you a fucking idiot?
That one person is that critical.
No, you do. You look at that guy, the guy that just got hired, who's not that good, and you'd be like, "Hey, man, take a hike."
Unless he's vaccinated, then you just fire the unvaccinated guy. That's been there for 20 years.
That's a good point too.
Right.
I know I said on one of our first COVID episodes we talked about the mandate he did about the 100 people, and it's like the meme with the guy crying with a gun. It's like when my 100th employee walks in.
The little kid with the
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
Oh,
Gotta take him out, dude.
Hey, it's got to be done for the safety of humanity.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is stupid, man.
It's so dumb.
The safety
But
of humanity.
I mean,
Pretend you're an ATF agent and he's a dog.
yeah,
Yep.
dude. One of you guys posted that meme where it's like ATF when they train, disturbance, kill the dog, or whatever it was.
The targets are all dogs.
Yeah,
Oh, did you add this one in here, Chris, about the Goliath grouper? 'Cause I actually
no,
saw
that
that,
was,
and I wanted to mention
Bookie.
that.
yeah, that was me.
Yeah, they're
They opened it back up. They opened it up.
well, not yet. From what I right? From
Well,
what I
it's going to
read.
be a lottery, I think.
Is
right?
it really? So stupid.
Let me the annual open harvest season of March during FWC. All right, here's the article. A select few A select few saltwater anglers fishing in Florida waters soon may be able to take home a Goliath grouper for dinner. However, with a costly permit required. Will anglers be willing to pay the price?
Probably not.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission next month may vote on whether to approve or modify a proposed change to fishing regulation for Goliath grouper, a species that has been protected from harvest in state and federal waters since 1990. This FWC will meet October 6th and 7th in St. Augustine. Oh, wow, it's the 11th, so let's see. The FWC staff has been working on developing new fishing regulations for Goliath River since spring. The 7 members governing an appointed commission will vote for
Shit. No
the harvest of up to 200 Goliath grouper per year, with harvest opportunities awarded via random draw lottery with a maximum of one permit and tag per person per year.
Right.
A lottery application fee of $10, and if rewarded, a permit fee of $500. Okay, so my question is, why? Why do I need to pay $500 to catch a fish that you don't own?
Someone explain to people listening what a Goliath grouper is.
All right, so Goliath grouper,
Big ass grouper.
is the kind of guy.
That looks like it ate everything.
No, yeah,
They do though. They really do.
They literally eat everything. They're a massive grouper, right? They get like
700-800 pounds.
Yeah, they get massive.
They probably even. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they get
more.
massive, and that's an interesting point of it, because when they get that big, you don't want to eat them,
Right.
right? Because they have like
They're too
ridiculously
old.
high mercury levels, and so like it's like eating cancer. Like you don't want to eat that thing, you know.
Yeah.
So what you're looking for is a really particular fish to eat, which is like one that's like in the 100-pound range or lower. So, and then you have to
So
pay.
these people are going to pay this tag, and then
Yeah.
they're going to take whatever they can take, right? Because like, you know, how often do you catch a fucking Goliath grouper? Like, is it pretty tough to?
No, that's the thing. It's not tough. It's not tough at all.
They're everywhere.
So because they have the
because they're protected.
Exactly.
Well, they've
So
been
they're-
protected since 1990. So you think
Yeah.
about that's
30
30 years.
Oh man, yeah. And
You see videos
top
like semi recent videos within the last 10 years of people like diving the Sebastian Inlet, and you'll shit yourself. You see how many are just in the inlet alone.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, they're actually to the point that they're like
invasive. Almost.
yeah, they're
'Cause
invasive.
They
and
eat
like
everything.
and they're a nuisance, right? Because you're pulling something up, you're pulling up a snapper that you caught, and then the Goliath grouper's right behind it, ready to eat it. And
Yeah.
oftentimes they do, and if you're not fishing for a Goliath grouper, I mean, you're not
It'll
catching
break you
it.
off.
Yeah, it's gonna break you off instantly. But yeah, no, they're everywhere, and so I don't know. It's like one of those really. I don't know. I mean, I think you should be able to. They should open it back up, right? And then if it gets to the point where they're getting whatever caught, there's too many of them getting caught and taken or whatever, then you close it back. But right now there's a ton of them, bro.
So the limit is going to be between 20 and 36 inches.
Yeah, so that's a small Goliath grouper.
Yeah.
like mentioned. So and
That's like a baby for
yeah, and so
Goliath.
that's the other part of it that I saw like on Instagram and some other people. It's like to catch one that size. I mean, you have to be in like certain spots. Like a lot of people were saying, like you have to go to like Tampa Bay and find one like like that's not easy to do. And then I mean, now you have to think about the cost of the permit versus the amount of grouper meat you're gonna get. It's not really worth it.
Well, that's what they interview. This article in TC Palm, they interview this charter, and he says, why would someone want to kill a 20-pound fish during a time of the year when they can catch a snook the same size to get the same amount of meat and do it for free?
Exactly. So
He goes on to say that 200 permits for the entire state is way too few. They should be issuing 200 permits for Martin County alone.
right.
Yeah.
Open them
If the FWC wants to protect individual Goliath groupers known to divers, why don't they just tag them so they can never be harvested? Yeah, I don't know.
It's like it's very dumb restriction on that.
Yeah.
So won't be seeing Goliath grouper on Mr. Captain Hiram's menu anytime soon.
I
huh?
mean, here's a picture of one just so you can kind of get a feel
Oh, yeah,
for how
they-
big they can get.
Damn.
Oh no,
Yeah,
they
that's
get
like two
massive.
people.
They get massive.
Yeah, they literally open their mouths and they can suck fucking.
I mean, they
anything
can
into
eat sharks and all kinds of stuff. They're
Yeah.
massive
Like, look, there's
fish.
one next to a shark. Could fucking suck that thing up, but
Yeah, no, they're massive.
yeah.
But that was. I mean, those guidelines are like retarded. They're like really bad.
Yeah, I agree. I
It
think
really
it's
makes
stupid.
no sense.
No.
Especially if they're at this point, overpopulated. Why are you limiting?
especially when they're
200.
especially when they're invasive. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're. I don't know if they like are officially
Considered
deemed,
invasive,
invasive.
It's weird too because the FWC would think they would, make sensible laws.
And I think sometimes they do, but not that time. That one seemed real.
The problem with the FWC and really any government agency, it's run by a bunch of scientists who aren't actually
Good enough to be in the private sector.
that and they're
not fishing.
Often the time these guys aren't fishing.
That's
They're
it.
not fishermen.
That's it.
And they make up these arbitrary laws depend on what the
Based
their-
on like some
Some-
silly study or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
They did the same
Is it
thing
with the redfish? They did the same thing with redfish.
Red snapper for sure.
Yeah, red. That's what I mean. Red snapper. Yeah,
red snapper. Yeah, I don't know about redfish, but red snapper for sure. I mean,
you go offshore. That's all you fucking catch.
Yeah, but you can't keep them.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And that
So-
wasn't until when did they open that season? Rather, when did they restrict it to a season?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was closed for a long time, and then they opened it, and it was like only. It's only.
Well,
like,
no,
what,
it
like
was
a couple days?
it was open for a long time,
Oh,
and then
really?
they turned it into a season.
Oh yeah, and then everybody on Instagram that goes and catch them, they're like, oh yeah, really invasive. They're everywhere pretty much.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if they do that. It's like government to not make sense, I guess. But yeah.
They'll check your cooler and make sure you don't have an extra one.
So,
That's
I mean,
great.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that they make restrictions that make sense, especially when you have like a real bad like a frost or something like that, where a bunch of snook die and like a bunch of trout die and stuff like that, and they restrict them like they did in Tampa Bay, and or something spills into the estuary and kills a bunch of fish, and they make some restrictions, and I think a lot of those make sense, but oftentimes with these fish, they don't seem to make much sense, But I don't know. I digress.
So open manatee season.
Yeah.
You're saying?
That's
Yeah.
that's where I was going.
I think I was reading today, almost 1,000. It's like it was 986 manatees that died this year. Some weak numbers, man. We got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we don't see at least 2,000 by the end of the year, I think there was not enough death of manatees this year.
Yeah, I think we should be actively trying to reduce the numbers of manatees in the lagoon.
Well, it's interesting that like the death on manatees is bringing like a lot of attention to the fact that there's no seagrass when there hasn't been seagrass for a long. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Right, it's not a new problem.
It's not a new problem, and now it's just like it's coming to the forefront. So I mean, if manatees have to die for people to get attention, then I'm cool with it.
/ the ecosystem to get some homeostasis.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, well, that's the other part, and that's what I brought up in one of the first episodes. Is like less manatees mean more grass that can grow. I mean, honestly.
Well, yeah. How much did you say that they can eat a day?
Oh, it's a lot. I don't remember the exact number. I'll look it up again. But it's like a lot of pounds.
It's like twice their body weight or something.
Yeah, I mean they can eat. They eat all day. That's what they do. They're like they're literally cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Underwater
So-
cows.
Yeah. Well,
And-
speaking of pounds, while Cameron looks that up, there's like gay Superman now, huh?
Oh God.
That was
Yeah,
a-
I don't understand that move.
I don't know. I don't really care about it.
No, I don't care either. But it's like, why not just make a new superhero that happens to be gay and
Well,
just make it a good story?
Yeah, I didn't look into it this much, but it looks like it is a different character. He just took the Superman, like, it's like within like I guess like the Superman like mythos or whatever you want to call it, the comic books.
Well, it's Clark Kent still.
I don't think so. I think it's what I
That's
thought.
not what I read. Superman comes out as DC comic ushers in a new New York Times. When did New York Times require a subscription to read their shitty fucking
yeah.
articles?
Yeah, don't.
When it became-
Okay. Superman's son's John Kent comes out as bisexual in a new comic.
yeah.
What? Come on, man.
New comic. Yeah, I was telling Nick on the way over here, this, if anything, this just kind of proves that comics are gay as fuck.
By now, you've likely heard he's queer now. Yep. Superman, champion of the oppressed. The Man of Steel, the Man of Tomorrow. The last son of Krypton, the big blue Boy Scout.
Ooh, big
Mr.
blue.
Not a Bird nor a Plane himself, queer all of a sudden.
So dumb.
And at 83-year-old, that's how old Superman is? That's how long this comic's been around? I guess I
Forever.
believe that. 83 years?
I believe it.
I believe that. No less, bless his heart, but that's not what's happening here. Comics being comics, the truth is a lot more granular. I'm not going to read this whole article, but
Thank you.
no, it's his son, Jonathan Kent, whose precise backstory is the comment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, why not just make a new, like, and I was talking to somebody about this, and, you know, their argument was like, oh, you know, the gay community needs more representation. And I hear that a lot, and I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck that means. They need more representation. Like, what does that mean? So, and then my argument against that was like, okay, take, for example, Orange is the New Black. I'm sure you guys have seen that, right? The TV show about the woman's
I know
prison.
I
know
saw
it's
it
pop-
as I'm scrolling through Netflix. If that's what
Yeah.
you mean.
No,
Yeah.
I watched like the first,
It was super popular.
I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and I liked it. I thought it was good. It was about, this girl who was a lesbian, goes to prison, and obviously a woman's prison, there's a lot of, you know, that kind of stuff going on.
What kind of stuff?
Lesbian stuff.
Elaborate
Scissoring,
on that.
snatch,
Okay.
snapping.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
we got it.
Carpet munching, you know, those type of things.
I thought it was tile in prisons.
Muff mushing, you know,
Oh,
whatever you want to
geez.
say.
Oh, that makes
we
more
can
sense.
go all day. But
now I get it. Now
yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is like they did it in a very organic and natural way that they weren't like shoving this like lesbian gay narrative down your throat. And it was a good show.
Yeah.
And it represented the gay community, albeit in a very weird way, being that it was like, you know, prison and stuff.
They should all be in prison. No, I know.
But I don't know. I guess the point I'm trying to
Yeah.
get at is like, why are we trying to recreate all of these, you know, in this instance, a comic that's been out for 83 years? Why are we doing this? And go figure, you know, John Kent, the gay Superman, is making out with
A blue-haired guy, right?
yeah, pink-haired they, them, these, him. I don't know. I just don't get it. You know, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's not, you know, it's fine that I don't understand it, but I feel like this isn't something the real life gay community even cares about. You know, I don't think they see this and they're like, wow, we're really making we're really changing the game.
Yeah, I think
this is something that like the blue check marks probably love and like, you know, the mainstream media loves, but I feel like real life gay people like are probably like, okay.
probably. I think it's one. It's
Maybe-
one of these
maybe
things-
I'm wrong.
Yeah, probably not. though.
Probably not though. Yeah. probably
It's.
not,
I think
let's
it's
be
one of
fair.
those things. We're in a moment where, you know, if you're looking at this as like a huge pendulum, right? Where before there's all this trying to be, representation, right? It was super non-representative, and you know, obviously you can put some of that was based on, you know, who the audience was and all this. But as times have gone on, there's more people that want to be representative. But now there's a huge push for it. So like the pendulum switched completely over. Maybe not all the way, but more over than, you know, maybe it would be like a natural occurring, right? So everybody's like, okay, we gotta include this. We have to have this going on. You know, we have to hit these certain benchmarks in these new media platforms or new media shows,
Oh, for sure.
right? And this is kind of what this comic book is. And at the one time, I don't really care. And I think it's, you know, cool if they wanted to do that to his son and it, you know, works and it turns out to be a good story or whatever it may be.
Yeah, but it seems like they're basing the entire story off of that identity.
True. And this is my next point is, now that the pendulum has switched into the opposite direction, it's like, hopefully we get to a point to where it's more natural, right? To where it just occurs naturally.
Yeah, but it already, like, and that was what I was saying with the whole Orange is the New Black thing. Like, it already, like,
Yeah.
you can do it naturally without taking a comic that's almost 100 years old and now, like, changing the entire thing. Like, granted, you know, it's Superman's son. It's not, you know, Clark Kent. It's John Kent. But it's like, it's still fucking, you know, everyone's gonna look at this and say, oh, it's Superman. It's like, oh, you know, it's his son. But,
Yeah.
like, why not just make a new Superman or a new superhero in the DC universe and, you know, just have it that, like, you know, oh, it just so happens to be he's gay, and then you can kind of sprinkle in those fucking themes without it being like that, like, this is the headline. Like, Superman's son, John Kent, comes out as a super gay bisexual in a new comment, it's a big deal. Like,
and I agree with you.
it isn't the whole point of this LGBTQ LMNOP movement to normalize it? And if that is the motive behind this movement, which I think it is, right? Isn't that the motive to like?
I would assume it's part of it.
Try. Well, I mean, what else would it be? It's the whole idea is to normalize gay, trans, whatever. Which I don't give a shit if that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, or if that's what you're into. That's what you're into. I don't care. But if the whole idea is to normalize it, then why come out with a new comic and like why is there such a big like? It's supposed to be normal, like it's supposed to be viewed as normal, but that's all they're talking about is that he's gay. So, in a sense, the headlines are making it not normal, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it comes back to the pendulum, it's where there's a certain...
So what you're saying is the next adaptation is like a super racist neo-Nazi Superman?
I think that was already done in like the 60s. But
let's get back to the 60s.
Right. No, what I think is going on, because I agree with you, it's just there's a certain group of people who are pushing this narrative. And like you said, there's probably a mass majority of people who don't really care who are part of these groups. But these small majority who have this power and these groups to make changes are like, this needs to be like highlighted. We need to like switch this pendulum over more than what should be done, like, I guess naturally, right?
Like they're overcompensating.
Exactly. Yeah. And it comes out and it just gives you this kind of like weird taste, like you said, where even if like they didn't have this like super emphasis on his son being gay and it would just like happened.
I didn't even know he had a son.
Yeah. Who reads?
I didn't know Superman could have kids.
Yeah, I thought he was just some.
Yeah, he was an alien.
Oh, I'm thinking of Surprise! Yeah. That's right. I was thinking of Batman. I was like, I thought he was just some depressed rich kid.
It's actually not his son. He's a cuck. His wife. But Lois likes him to watch. But no. So it's one of these things where once this pendulum hopefully kind of evens out more, and people who are in control of media stop getting this super hard on for making everything super different relative to what it was.
Super gay.
50 years ago. More of like the Orange is New Black will come out, right?
Yeah, I guess my counter argument is to that is Orange is the New Black has been out for like 5 or 6 years now, and they did a very good job of bringing in those themes organically, naturally. So like, why is this necessary? Like,
because the blue checkmark people don't agree with you,
and that's exactly where I'm getting to. It's not like. There's a way to normalize it without shoving it in your face.
Yeah.
And shoving it in your face only turns people off. I ultimately don't give a fuck. If you want to make I'm not a...
I hope
John
I
think the whole
sucks
super...
that dick so hard with his super
Imagine
strength.
if that's like one of the scenes, like in the comic books, he's just having like dirty gay sex.
Well, Batman, they didn't let Batman go down on Catwoman.
Why?
That's a crime.
That is literally...
bestiality?
Maybe, but yeah,
a bat and a cat.
Someone who had control of the comics, like Batman, doesn't do that.
Yeah, he's a depressed kid that can't get a boner.
Yeah, but then like
he needs Blue Chew, and that brings us to our ad.
But then like the next like week they had like
the Summer of Love, hard dicks.
Don't be like Batman. No, it just
I don't know. Like I said, ultimately I don't give a shit. I just think it's a weird. And I guess that's another thing. Like everyone. All the blue checks that see this that are like, yes, Queen, yes, this is amazing. They're like completely ignoring the fact that this is just a big, hollow virtue signaling from corporate America, right?
Yeah. And like most
things. Which is ironic because like, what is it, Warner Bros. That owns them?
Yeah.
DC Universe? That like, tomorrow morning their stocks are probably going to plummet because of this.
Yeah.
Maybe not, I don't know.
Who knows? But
I'm just speculating.
Hopefully,
but it seems like generally when that happens, like when they do these kind of stunts, it ends up backfiring from a financial standpoint. It ends up backfiring on them,
at least in the short term.
Yeah,
but
everything rebounds because Republicans are too stupid to stand behind their own convictions.
Hopefully, in 20 years,
which brings us to the debt ceiling.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Wait a second. So we can't go past it because of the ceiling, right?
Well, no, but if you move the ceiling. then you won't have to go
Well,
past
being
it.
engineers,
That's called
how would
raising
we
the
do
roof.
this?
It's called
You would-
raising the roof.
You would destroy the ceiling and then raise the walls and then build a new ceiling.
Oh shit!
Raise the roof.
That costs a lot of money.
So add to the actual. Did you have to increase? Did you take that into account when you increase the ceiling height? The money to increase this actual
Well,
ceiling?
see the thing.
No, you just make the people that are tenants in your building, you make them pay for it.
Here's,
Okay.
I think this is a pretty good analogy. I think so. The thing about raising ceiling height is, like I said, you need to increase the wall height, and when you increase the wall height, you add more weight, and so you need to make sure that the foundations are sufficient to support the new ceiling height and the new wall height, and to support all that weight. So, you
Which
think
was
they're-
probably not.
You think they're taking that into account?
No, I was going to say. I mean, you're more the structural, civil engineer. I don't know shit about this, but I guess I do a little bit. But when you do these, foundational support calculations, you base it off of what the building's going to be.
Yeah.
You might have a factor of, obviously you have a factor of safety in there, but oftentimes that doesn't include adding another floor to the building.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when they first build the foundations, they build it for the building that is planned to
right.
be built there.
Yes.
So, yeah, most of the time when people are like, oh, I want to add a second story to my house, like, yeah, your existing foundation can't support that. And so you gotta, put piles, retrofitted usually helical piles or something in there. But anyway, so the way that, relates to the debt ceiling is like, we have a, like a natural supply, like a natural level of debt that we can handle in the economy.
I feel like we've passed that many times.
Yeah.
That's why
By
your U.S.
far.
dollar's worth dick.
Yeah. And they will continue to be worth less and less.
When was the last time they had the debt ceiling discussion?
I know 2009,
I was going to say 2012, but yeah,
and then they
2009
had
sounds-
another one in between 2009 and I think 2009 and 2011.
So anybody listening who's not aware, they have to increase the ceiling, meaning they have to increase the amount of debt that the American
can
government
take on.
can take on, or they have to default on some of the debt or all the debt. I forget.
Yeah, and every time it happens, the Democrats fight for the debt ceiling to be raised. The Republicans pretend like it's going to be the end of the world if they raise the debt ceiling, and we're not going to do that, and blah, 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 and then eventually they raise the debt ceiling.
Yep. And what happens is
What happens is your kids end up being screwed over by this situation.
And Chris,
Yeah.
so you're pretty good with you're better than me at least with economics and that kind of thing. Can you explain how like the national debt, like how does that work? Like who does the federal government, like where is this debt accrued from?
No.
Am I putting you on the spot?
I'm just kidding.
You don't know? Do you, I mean, if you don't know, that's fine.
what
I don't
is
fucking know. so.
Wisconsin?
I just know you're pretty good with like better than me at least. So
I should know this because I recently listened to a Bob Murphy discussion on this, and he's fucking awesome on this stuff and just like explains it in such good terms. But I would honestly refer people to him to learn about that. He actually talked about it in the recent Timcast episode he was on the
nice.
Tim Pool episode. He did a really good episode on there where he like went into Austrian economics and just like debt and where it comes from and how basically the government, what they do is called like monetizing the debt, where they will sell off their debt in the form of like bonds.
mm-hmm.
And so then basically like they're making the debt liquid so that they can use that cash to like inject money into the economy. And because they
sounds like a very
they're of
feasible way to.
Yeah, they're of the mind that they're like
Sorry,
a lot of them are like either Keynesians or modern monetary theorists, which in my book is basically the same thing, but I know they kind of hate each other. But they believe basically that, we own, or the debt is owed to ourselves. And so there's no limit to how much we can borrow. the Keynesians think there's absolutely no limit. The modern monetary theorists do think that there is a limit, but it's like very high,
arbitrary. Yeah,
and so yeah, they think that it's good that the federal government will monetize their debt and inject money into the economy to quote unquote stimulate the economy. And that's just not that's not how sound economics
they believe
works.
in consumption, right? That a thriving economy is based on how much is being consumed.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's a good way to describe it.
So in a sense, it's not like a lot of people think we owe this. I would say most conservatives, Republicans think we owe this money to China. That's not necessarily true, right?
That's not necessarily true.
In a sense, it's money that we borrow from ourselves via the Federal Reserve.
Always comes back to this.
Right. So and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. It would kind of be the same thing as taking a loan out on like your 401k in a way, or not necessarily.
I guess so. I'm not 100% sure about the details on that. Like,
how about we do the next episode? We talk more about this. We go a little more in depth.
Or is it refinancing a house and using some of the new refinance money to pay off your old debts and all consolidate them into one?
Right. Yeah. That kind of. Yeah. I think that would kind of be similar.
Which is almost like what happened in 2008 when we had a housing crisis.
Right.
Raise the ceiling. The roof.
Yeah, but no, I'd be down. I'd be down to like do some good research on this and do like a full episode.
Yeah. This is something I've been wanting to get like more educated on. So I think episode 21? We're manifesting it right here on episode 20. Episode 21, we'll be talking about
the fun stuff.
Yeah, the national debt.
Introduce our audience to Austrian economics.
That's a good one. Yeah. And that'll be a good opportunity for me to get a little more educated because
you're retarded.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's all very confusing, man. And there's a lot of elements to this that like don't make sense to like.
Well, that's by design, right?
Or it does make sense, and they're making it more complicated than it is. Like debt is always going to be debt, right?
Yeah.
Like you should never spend more than you have. Right?
Unless you're an American.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you shouldn't take a credit card and spend a bunch of money and owe that. Because, like... So,
but in the Keynesians and the modern monetary theorists, they'll say that, the government is not like a household budget. Like, you can't compare them. Because the government can print money. Yeah. So, they can never default on a debt because they can always just print the money and pay it, right?
Right.
And so... I mean, yes, but they just kind of neglect the fact that there's consequences to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the point. There's always going to be a
like milk being $10 a gallon.
Or they just don't think that the consequences outweigh the benefits of doing that.
Right.
Well, because they don't have to deal with the consequences, right?
Yeah,
we do.
We do, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's where inflation comes from.
Yes, which unfortunately we are seeing.
Yeah, I saw
now.
Someone sent me an article today from some fucking stupid, economics journal, one of the mainstream ones. One of them is called The Economist. They always print stupid shit. They're controlled by the World Economic Forum, and so they have they always post articles about like eating bugs and shit and how it's going to be awesome. But no, so someone sent me this article that was like, it was about inflation, and they're like, what is inflation? And they're like, it's actually very complicated. Inflation is, you can't just define it in one way. Like, they're trying to make it like super vague and like, no, inflation literally is like, inflation and deflation is synonymous with the money supply. Whatever, like, if you increase the money supply, it causes inflation. If you decrease the money supply, it causes deflation.
Right.
It's, like, it's a direct relationship, essentially. And they will deny that. They will say that it's more complicated than that, which I don't think it is. But
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think everybody can see it right now, too. The inflation going on. I mean, you can see it in the price. And then if you don't see it in the price...
look at the M2, which is the monetary supply graph. It literally, in 2020, just fucking, like, through the roof. Because they printed all that money. And, yeah.
They printed 28% of the money in circulation in the year 2019.
28% of the total money supply was printed in 1 year.
And a good
Yeah.
chunk of that went to Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the other chunk went to, gender studies in
Israel and-
Israel and Iraq
And
Iron Dome
and Pakistan too.
Yeah,
Pakistan. Yeah, that's what
We
I'm
support both sides.
yeah.
we want the missiles that hit the Iron Dome so we can repay to make sure the Iron Dome has more missiles.
thinking. Missiles to protect themselves
Yeah,
from.
it's literally what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a free real estate, free business for
Yeah.
fucking Lockheed or whoever supplies those missiles.
Yeah.
Just blame on Raytheon. What's this song?
It's just a closing song.
Who sings this song?
Fucking the shittiest band on planet Earth. I'm convinced the only reason that people like this band is because it's the trendy thing to do. This band fucking blows cock.
So many t-shirts.
This is,
I like this song.
yeah. I was gonna say that. Like, I'm putting all of my preconceptions about them to the side. This is like the only good song they have. If you like any other Beatles song, you're just lying to yourself. Good night.